Make this post. We're about to go live. Hey, Dragonfire, how are you today, man? Good to see you. Evening, Devin. How are you today? Just want to make sure I clean up everything I can. Cheers, mate. Happy you enjoy it. Alright, we are live. Sup, Booth? Good to see you, man. Booth, your loyalty astounds even me, dude. I think you're here before I am most of the time. That's why I love you. I don't plan on spending any more money on the game, but I've considered buy the Strike Pass for Silver Surfer. Would that be worth it? So, like, when you look at spending money, please always look at it from a perspective of what you get for what you give, right? Once you do that, it becomes a lot easier. I think the Silver Surfer bundle, I bought it on this account, and I think it was very relevant because it ended up giving me not just, excuse me, a 3-star Silver Surfer, but it did give me a decent chunk of bonus resources. Now, if you want to take a quick check. Wait, I'm not spending again. I don't think there's a reason for you to... Like, whatever reason you're not spending, I can't explain. You know, like, if you're not spending because you're not happy with the game, you know, then that's a good enough reason. Like, I do not give EA money. If EA came out with a deal that was through the roof insane, I would be having a problem. You know, I'd be like, well, if it's every EA game that's ever come out ever for like $5 one-time fee, I'd be like, yeah, all right, maybe they got me, you know? Because one of the reasons why I don't give EA money is because I think that their habits and what they've done as a company has caused a problem in the gaming industry itself. But like, if they do something that undoes some of that, then that would be worth my money. Like, you reward positive or negative with, thank you, Booth. You would reward positive or negative with, you know, whatever it happens to be. If they do something bad, you don't want to give them any more money because you don't like it, that's fine. But if they do something good, then you can justify giving them money. If you don't have money to spend, then it's a different story entirely. Like, if you're like, I can't afford to give money to a mobile game anymore, or I can't afford to spend the amounts of money in a mobile game, then by all means, like, don't spend any more money. There are more efficient mobile games. Dragon Champions, which I have a link in the description below, is a game that's like Marvel Strike Force in a lot of ways, and very, very cheap comparatively. So you get a lot more for your money in that kind of game. So, like, you know, that's up to you. So I don't know why you stop spending, but if you stop spending money because you're mad at the company, one of the best things you can do is, like, it's not like all money is equal, you know? It's not like there's a zero-sum game where Scopely's either making $0 or $1 trillion. Like, there's somewhere in the middle. And sales do drop and go up based on what's going on. Sometimes they have months that are amazing because they do amazing things or they release amazing characters. And some months they have terrible stuff. So if you're not spending money because you're mad at the company, like, I get it. But at the same time, you know, Silver Surfer is a reasonable character. So for $20 to unlock him, $40 to have a 3-star, he's been one of the most efficient characters. I didn't buy the $20 Silver Surfer offer because getting a Silver Surfer for $20, to me, especially with a limited funding for this account, you have 4 days, Dragonfire. Oh, we'll get to that. I knew that the $20 for a 3-star character, as well as quite a bit of other resources, was going to be dramatically better for me, you know? Like, this pass for me was so much better than $20 for a 2-star Surfer that there was no reason. But on my main account, I've bought the Silver Surfer offer, I think, 5 times, and the Battle Pass, because now I have a 5-star Surfer. So it really just depends on where you are. Now, Dragonfire says, for some reason, I'm only on level 59 of the Strike Pass. Well, just to let you know, the Strike Pass 1 only has 100 ranks in order to complete it, and you get more stuff. Just to show you, I get stuff for completing blitz fights. I get stuff, obviously, for completing raids. I get stuff for completing ISOs. So it's easier for a Strike Pass 1 to be completed. Strike Pass 2 and 3, I believe, are more. They more than 100 points. and they don't give you as many things. So Strike Pass 1 is absolutely positively hands down worth the $20 it costs because it's so easy to complete by just playing the game. And you'll always have things to do in the early stages of the game. 2 and 3, 2 has good rewards, but it's harder to complete. And 3 is the same conversation. In 3, I'm not even level 50 in 3. You know, I'm 46 or 47. And that's assuming you can get a maximum of 2.3 levels per day. And that's assuming you get everything done immediately every day. But you can't really afford to mess up. Like, there's exactly twice as many levels as there are days in the pass, right? So 5.6, 56 divided by 2 is 28. That's the number of days the pass runs. So you have to get at least 2 levels a day. You can get a little bit ahead by completing every single thing every day, and then you build yourself a little bit of time. But it's very hard for a player to complete this with more than, like, maybe now there are some players behind, but that's it. On my main account for Strike Pass 3, which I did end up buying, like I said, again, for Surfer, I'm going to have to give them some cores. Probably between 200 and 400 cores, just to get the last 2 nodes, which is the ones that matter the most to me, the Surfer Shards and the promotion credits. Next week's Blitzes are thingamabog, just so you don't have to field questions about it. Black Bolt returning May 4th. Yeah, that's before Jubilee, right? That's what we mentioned in stream the other day. Black Bolt, unless Jubilee is... Yeah, no, because Magneto is this week. Yeah. So Black Bolt is the 4th, and then the week after, May 10th, I think, is Jubilee or something like that. But that was something we had talked about on stream the other day. And also, just so people can catch on to this, because someone made a comment in one of my posts, and it was a good comment. They're like, I don't quite understand, is this, because this isn't concise enough, necessarily, to be, this isn't a concise enough post, you know, in order, like, video. It's 2 hours. It's not really information, and a lot of times it is a conversation. The point of this is to catch up and field questions regarding not only, like, the general feelings I'm having about the game and this account, but what I've done and what I'm doing on this account. If you really want to get an idea, during the week is when, on my Twitch stream, is when I do play the majority of this account. Whether it be for 5 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour, that's where the most of this work in the account goes. So this is not a look at a week's worth of content in 1 minute. This is a recap on what I've done over the week from my Twitch stream. Hopefully that information helps you. If you do have questions about why I'm doing things, why I'm making, you know, why these things have already done, or why I'm spending a lot of time talking to chat, the reason why is because that's the format for a recap. It's to look at where I am, discuss why I'm there or what I plan on doing, and then field some questions regarding generally either the state of the game itself or whether I think my decision making up to this point was positive, negative, etc., etc. But please, by all means, ask questions here or anywhere else. I'm sure that there's someone else who's going to stumble upon this video and wonder, hey, I just started playing. What should I do here? This is not a step-by-step guide. I will never make those because those cannot exist in the game. I can't make one guide that makes everybody happy, but hopefully you can see through my experience and my experience here and my knowledge of the game up to this point that I have a plan and I'm fine-tuning it based on what's happening in the game. But yes, Black Bolt coming early was something I was anticipating. It is. Twitch is garbage bullshit. That is the reason why we are here, and that's why I mentioned, I'm pretty sure Black Bolt's coming next, even though some piece of paper somewhere said, like, mathematically speaking, this character should come first. Like, that's not necessarily how they do things. That's just our best guess, you know? To our knowledge, anyway. Hi, Freaky Felipe. How you doing, man? So, here's where we are, right? Let's do a quick recap. We hit level 58, which opened up, ironically, the next nodes I can do, which were Nexus, and as you guys imagined, I slapped it with my penis. Like, this was a dick slap, right? Sorry, there might have been a little echo in that. I apologize. That is true. So this was easy, and now I'm sitting here waiting for level 60 to be able to progress a little bit more. I'm doing well, Jack Pedo. So, you know, I can't do anything until I'm level 60 right now. That's fine. As far as the villains campaign, I am literally hard capped until level 60, level 70, and until I complete this, which, again, is also capped behind level 70. I have to gain 12 levels before I can progress in this content. No, it's very small, Leeson. I have to complete a lot. Now, Cosmic, again, I believe Cosmic is also limited to level 70. Oh, 59. Cool. So in a level from now, I will be able to complete the Cosmic stuff. I'll have access to a Ghost Rider farm, a Psylocke farm. Those are the two things that matter. But what really matters is some of these gear pieces. Some of getting more access to these. As we've been talking about, when's Emily's event? Mystic, good to see you. Mystic's event should be somewhere between the end of the Black Bolt event and after or around the same time as Jubilee. So either Black Bolt event's going to happen and then Jubilee's going to happen, which is what I believe. I think we're going to get Black Bolt on May 4th. We're going to get Jubilee around the 10th, and then we'll get Maw after that. So just throwing it out there. Ebony Maw will be somewhere around the 17th. That's what I suspect to happen. It could be a little bit further. He could technically come before Jubilee, but I believe that the 10th and the 17th are going to be Jubilee and Maw respectively. We're getting close to the wire. Basically, the way it works is you have less... When it just passed, you can worry less about a legendary, but the longer ago the legendary was, you should kind of hunker down, buckle up, and focus or pull your resources to make sure you can accomplish whatever that task is. Which is kind of a good point because we're talking about that now. I'm working towards DD2 characters. I have Zemo, phenomenal. CM, okay, but not great. Hela, great. Minerva, great. SSM, great. And Ghost are great. So the cool thing is CM is not a great choice, but she's not a horrible choice either. So Zemo, Hela, and Minerva are gonna do great work for you on their own. Just the way they work. SSM and Ghost. SSM is also amazing. Ghost is great. Not amazing, but great for DD2. And the reason I say not amazing for DD2 is you really don't feel the impact of Ghost until harder content. She's not as necessary, but she is still absolutely phenomenal. Like, I intend on using Ghost too. So if you're using CM, the good thing is she's not the best possible option. But the reason why is she doesn't ever need to be brought to Gear Tier 13. She is what we call a consummate purple gear character, and there are plenty of those. But if you already have her up there, she's not going to hurt you. As a matter of fact, you'll get a little bit of extra value from Minerva being on that team because she's there. That said, she's just a character. That's all she is. I would say, though, there is a note to make. Zemo is squish-tacular. He's a wet tampon. He is very, very, very no damage. Like, he takes nothing. So you want to make sure that you have some way to protect him a little bit, if you could. So if you were to not use CM, and the reason I say that is because it's very unlikely you're going to be bringing CM past Gear Tier 13 anyway, it's not a big deal. Should be great on war defense? Absolutely. So planning on break level cap more annoying than getting the unfarmable materials? Is planning to break the level cap more annoying than getting unfarmable materials? It's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. It's all annoying. You just have to accept the fact that it's something that's not going to change and play the game accordingly. What power should my Inhumans be for Maw 6-star event? The Maw 6-star event is specifically designed to tax a Black Bolt. So as long as your Black Bolt is relatively high investment, we are talking Gear Tier 13, Gear Tier 14 Black Bolt, and you have at least a reasonable investment in one of the other characters. Very few people unlocked a 6-star Maw with Yo-Yo. It's just very hard to get that. So you have to end up using Ms. Marvel and Quake to combine with Karnak and Crystal. If you had to pick, Ms. Marvel and Crystal are the two characters that having a higher investment in would help you the most. outside of Black Bolt. Quake is quite literally useless, and Karnak is mediocre at best. So I would say the overall power of that team would have to be in the mid-hundreds. Rage Gaming has a very good video on that. I can't find it off the top of my head, but RAYGE Gaming will probably have a really good way to help you get through those nodes. I would recommend over 120k total power, assuming Black Bolt is the work on that team. You know, assuming Black Bolt is doing the work. That's correct. Yeah. Your Black Bolt's 100k and the rest are 50k. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Just remember, when you complete the 6-star event, the next event, it says the level 7, it's an intermission. It's a free event, so just do it. You don't have to be 7-star to do that event. It's the 6-star bonus, I believe, if I remember correctly. So there's a bonus event in the Maw. It's before the 7-star, so just remember that. It's actually pretty surprising we don't have a character like Medusa yet. Well, they are not going to release improvements to teams that are already functioning very well. Up until recently, the Inhumans have been overall one of the top teams in the game. Now, a little bit less so, but we're getting close to the point where their power creep is starting to affect them. It's like 6.5. Yeah, just extra gold. Yeah, but it's still extra gold. You might as well do it, right? There's no reason to save it. Like gold now or gold later, you can save the gold as long as it's in your account. You have to worry about it. Thought there'd be there with ultimate thanks to him. Yeah, you should be fine. And again, Medusa and Gorgon are the next character. Where's my Gorgon? I had him somewhere around here when I was showcasing that stuff. He's on the floor, I bet. Yeah. Oh, here's Gorgon. Nope, here's Karnak. Here's Gorgon. And Medusa's a really big click because she has giant hair, so I don't often... Sorry, guys. So I don't often show her, but here's Gorgon when he's coming out. I would say Ebony's event would probably be around late May to early June. Yeah. Ebony's event is somewhere around the 17th to the 24th. It won't be that far out, though. I'm telling you that. Hero Clicks Gorgon? Yeah, all my Hero Clicks are here. I keep buying up more and more Hero Clicks for characters that come out. The hard thing is, like, there are certain characters that, like, Hero Clicks are so random. You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to find Misty Knight and Colleen Wing Hero Clicks. So, like, whatever. And there is no Kestrel Hero Quick, so for the next characters, it's not very relevant. Alright, so, but let's focus up for a second. This is level 60, I think, to go on, right? Yeah. So, basically, the next 2 levels are going to unlock the ability to complete more cosmic and mystic campaigns. But after that happens, you know, after I finish this part of the stuff, it's 10 levels before I can progress any meaningfully in this, in campaigns, right? So at that point, since it's 10 levels before I could start farming Hela, speaking of Hela, thank you, before I could start farming a good deal of these characters, let me start my loss. No, now I lose down with some of my weaker teams just so I could, you know, win more frequently and get more points. They do have a duo hero quick. Yeah. And it's like $29.99. And I'm like, for the memes, I'm not giving him $30 for a hero quick I'm not going to use. Yeah. They actually might win this fight, but I am intentionally losing. So top 5-6 war offense team. They are. You shouldn't skip Brotherhood, but so the cool things, James, you're right. The Brotherhood 2.0 is still one of the top, I'd say, 5 war offense teams. Let's see. The best war offense team is the Black Order. What's a hero quick? It's a different kind of game. It's this. It's a character on a figure, and you can literally... You can hear that. Click the base, and it has hit points and stuff. It's like chess with superheroes. Favorite self-scenario pack. Nice. Nice. That's the... Oh, I love that pack. So, the Black Order is the best war team. Just so everyone knows. When you think about it. They will be any team. As a matter of fact, if you're like, I'm going to take Black Bolt and Dr. Doom and, you know, Silver Surfer and put them on a team, I'll beat them with the Black Order. Like... it is what it is. All right, these guys are going to lose 2, but that's by design. So they're going to lose... they're going to beat any team. And then there's a 2-way tie for the second best team. It's the Shadowlands and the X-Force. X-Force. I didn't misspeak. Those 2 teams can be combined. If you have those 2 teams, there is not a single team left in the game that you can't defeat. I think that the Shadowlands is a little bit better now because they are directly capable of beating other teams, like hybrid teams as well. So they're really, really, really good as far as everything's concerned. But the X-Force is also great. Like, the X-Force still can beat the teams that you would use the Shadowlands to do. They're actually a little bit easier to access. So if you're like, who do I work on? Work on the ones you can farm the more stars on, because X-Force clearly unlocks the legendary. As of right now, we have no reason to believe that the Shadowlands does. So those 2 teams are number 2 and 3. Then the Brotherhood 2.0 is right underneath them in the fact that they can quite literally beat more hybrids and more of the new crazy setups than anybody else. That's true too, James. Let's see if these guys win, because I'm down to 4, right? 6, no, I'm down to 5. Whatever. They win or lose, it works out for me. Either way. So, Brotherhood is amazing. And then, you now, after that point, you start getting into some crazy teams. Like, the Inhumans are still an amazing war offense team. The Fantastic Four are still an amazing war offense team. The, X Factor are starting to become a great war offense team. They're not quite great yet. They're missing their last piece. And saying Surfer is the last member of the X Factor is kind of like saying Ultron is the last member of the Power Armor team. Surfer is going to win the fight you bring it into, you know? Same thing with Zemo. Zemo is a great character. If you happen to start adding good characters with Zemo, you know, like, it doesn't matter. So the point is, you shouldn't be adding Zemo or Surfer or Ultron or Doom to a team that can win. Those are called carries. You don't need them. Like, I'm telling you honestly, if adding Surfer to the team is the only way that team's going to win, that team isn't winning. Surfer is. So I put Surfer on the Guardians of the Galaxy because Guardians suck. But with Surfer, they are beating... Doc Ock and teams like that. So, good. Now we're tier 4. These are where I should be winning fights again. So, that's the same thing with Zemo. Zemo can win a fight almost on his own. So, if you're starting to combine Zemo with, like, the Defenders, congratulations. That's the best use, because the Defenders suck. But if you're using Zemo with, like, Namor... I made the joke a line, like, if you put Zemo, Namor, and Red Skull on the same team together, who do you plan on fighting? God? Like, that team is, like, you're overpowering content. Zemo on his own is so good at winning a war fight that, like, the characters around him are basically just being carried to a victory. Anything over that is fundamentally a waste of the resources because those characters could then technically be used. Now, I understand the Hydra 3.0 team everyone's talking about is a great war team, but at the same time, you don't need to utilize them because any team that the Hydra 3.0 can beat, you know, you still have to put the investment in some of the Hydra characters that are subpar, and you could probably beat them with Zemo in a more consistent manner using a better investment team in general. And that's not including the fact that all of the teams I had mentioned previously, Shadowlands, X-Force, Black Order, Brotherhood 2.0, can beat quite literally almost any team based on their hierarchy. But I am a huge fan of using those kind of characters. Same thing with Doom for anyone who has Doom, you know? For anyone who has Doom, like, every time I see a Doom on defense in war, I chuckle and then beat that team with the Black Order. Because, like, I get it. But if you put Doom on the Marauders, that just means the Black Order is used once. If you put Doom on, like, the Defenders, that's a little bit scarier because people still have to respect the Doom character. You know, they have to beat Doom. They don't have to worry about beating the Defenders. So you might get a one war win, you know, or maybe a 2-tap or something, which might be relevant to you. Also, Tony was right moment. Heroes for Hire war defense. I wasn't right. I was accurate. Right implied I was guessing or like I was suspecting. I had information. So my information was accurate. I wasn't right. Like right is when you're like guessing, you know, like you can't be right or wrong if you're reporting what someone else said. Yeah. Only adds to the value of the victory. Yeah, exactly. You're giving your opponent more value. But thank you for bringing that up, because the hero did they officially keep the name Heroes for Hire? That was the only thing that I couldn't know, because when I was told about the Colleen Wing, Misty Knight, those characters and the Heroes for Hire rework, they never specifically mentioned Heroes for Hire. I responded with, "Oh wow, they're doing a Heroes for Hire team," and the guy was like, "I guess." So it's called Heroes for Hire? Cool. Okay. Heroes for Hire is Defenders 2.0. Heroes for Hire is what, like, the Shadowlands is, you know? They haven't done a ward defense. It also wasn't tough to figure out. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the point. It wasn't a hard guess to make. That's why I wasn't guessing. Like, anyone could have guessed, like, yeah, they're probably a ward defense, right? But I was, like, telling you, like, no, they are a ward defense. The three characters, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist, are getting reworks. As a matter of fact, according to my information, again, accuracy or otherwise, according to my information, there's going to be a lot of characters reworked in the next patch. Not huge reworks, but supposedly the next patch is going to have somewhere between 5 and 8 character reworks. Whether they all be amazing, whether this be in addition to the Skilletary rework they've been talking about, I don't have that information. I just heard lots of reworks coming. So, you know, tagging the Colleen post, cool. Now I'm caring a little bit about this, because if I were able to unlock Hela through this method, then any free Hela shards I get due to like some kind of login event that they may have for like the Todano Mac calendar. Hand rework, not yet. The hand rework is scheduled for... The hand rework is supposed to happen around the time of Shang-Chi, but that's it. Full kit reworks or stat balance passes. I don't believe them to be full kit reworks. I believe them to be the same... I believe you should expect the same kinds of reworks that the Shadowland characters got. Tier 4s now have the ability to do something more, and then they'll have the added, like, they'll change the words to say, like, oh, we're Heroes for Hire, and then, you know, maybe, like, on war defense, that kind of thing. May is supposed to be when the training mat flash event drops? Yeah. But it could also be more. I've heard, like, a ton, but there's plenty of other character reworks that have been long overdue. So it could be anything. I'm still not convinced we're gonna see the hand rework until Shang-Chi anyway, but it is what it is. Why are you stunned? Ha ha! Death proof. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, the Defenders 2.0 is gonna be another situation like the Shadowlands were. Probably, to my knowledge, Misty Knight is the heavy hitter. So Misty Knight seemed... Again, I can't confirm this yet, but it appears as though Misty Knight is, like, the white tiger of the team. The one that's, like, really, really good. And Colleen Wing is more like the Moon Knight of the team, where it's, like, cool, but no one really cares. Have you heard something about Thunderbolts? In Marvel Strike Force? No. In the MCU? Yes. That seems to be where they're moving the Phase 4 into. Yeah. But the hand rework is not... Trust me, I'm dying. My main account has nothing but 5 reds on all my hand characters. Give me that rework, you know? Hey, DJ. I hear Anti-Venom is an obvious choice for Striker, but I don't understand why that over Healer. Healer doesn't matter. Okay, so let's look at Anti-Venom then for this conversation. It's a great question, by the way. If you're using the symbiotes together, you don't put healer on any of them. Ever. Under any circumstances. If you're using the completed version of the symbiote team, you are wasting ions by putting healer on them. Not to my knowledge, no. Hand rework should be a while from now, to my knowledge. Yes, but that's what I'm saying. I haven't seen Colleen's kit from the blog post yet, but to my knowledge, Colleen's the character, like, multiple man. Like, Colleen is there, and, like, the stronger she is, it doesn't make that much of a difference. But, outside of that, that's fine. So, back to the anti-venom. So, if you're using the full entirety of the symbiote team, it's a waste of ions to put healer on any of them, because they heal themselves, like, for most of the content you're going to. And if you're trying to use them outside of Raid or Dark Dimension content, well, that's not where they're good. So putting healer on them is almost unnecessary. So Striker on Anti-Venom works so well because of how Striker interacts. When you hit the character, Anti-Venom puts the opposite of his buffs on them. When you use the Striker effect, it also does it again. So if Anti-Venom has defense down and a heal stack, it's going to put, you know, a defense down and a bleed stack, or defense up, you know. It's going to put the reverse on your opponent. It's going to do that twice. It's also going to be a reasonable amount of damage, so it's good. But he doesn't need healer because he's not a healer. You know, all the symbiotes heal each other through damage, so you want to increase the damage output to keep everybody up. You can justify plenty. I've actually had, you know, Skirmisher on Anti-Venom sometimes because the animation ends up being longer than it needs to be, and I'd rather him just rip the buffs off or, you know, place an ability on somebody with his basic when he gets to that point. But there's no real bad choices. And then, of course, you can always do that crazy, like, justification for, like, Fortifier if you notice the character is dying a lot. That kind of thing. So Anti-Venom, as a single character, might come across as having a more beneficial healer stat, but very infrequently we'll be using Anti-Venom as a single character. And it's very, very rare that you're going to find a situation to use Anti-Venom and not Symbiote Spider-Man, because even if you don't have Symbiote Spider-Man, your goal should still be to get him as fast as you can, however that, you know, means. Hopefully that helped. Yeah. Hopefully that information was helpful. If it wasn't, you know, I'll try to clarify a little bit more. Yeah. Like, if a team's entire deal is that they heal themselves for 100% of the damage they do, why would they ever need to have more healing? You know what I mean? Like, more damage means more healing. They heal through murder. So just murder more. Yeah. DG, they pretty much confirmed the ham rework isn't happening this year on the Jason Bennett interview. Again, I don't think that... I think the Ravager... So the Ravager rework was supposed to be before the hand rework, and that still might happen, because again, as of right now, the Ravagers are useless, right? They have no value in the game. There is nothing the Ravagers do that are exclusive to the Ravagers. They have, like, situational value, like you can use them to unlock Star-Lord, but since Star-Lord has lost so much value throughout the gameplay, especially going into later game modes, there's no reason to worry about that anyway. Now, a Star-Lord rework might make that its own thing. But the Ravagers are the team that stand to make the most money for them, because one, nobody's working on Ravagers, not just the long-term players like me who have 7-star, but like the average player in the game aren't even doing that. Hand tunes. Ugh, that's rough. Oh no, Zemo. Joke's on you, Zemo. I also am Zemo. Who is the most Zemo? Who is the Zemoist? I am the Zemoist. My Zemo is Zemo-ness. Love you, Zemo. Zemo's my favorite, man. With his furry jet. With his gun just floating. Zemo's gun, that's not even magic. His guns just know to listen to him. Amazing. So yeah, like, I think the Ravager rework makes more financial sense as a business, because all they have to do is release one more Ravager character or two, and like they did when they released Zemo and reworked the garbage Hydra characters, like Winter Soldier and stuff. Those reworks didn't have to matter too much. Zemo was the sell. MSF released a video with the dancing Zemo. Nice. They should have. Who is the true leader? Zemo. My Zemo is the true leader. But it's not the Daniel Zemo dance. It wasn't like... Amazing. Should have put that effort into the game. Different strokes for different folks. If you watch the Valley interview with Bender, you get that they really don't know what they're doing. So like that interview is phenomenal because it tells all the players that they really don't know what they're doing. So like, come on. How much do you expect from them? They don't know what they're doing. My City DD3 team is SSM Carnage. Who be my third symbiote? Anti-Venom. Carnage is not great. He's fine, but he's not the best option. The best option is Anti-Venom as number 2. So the hierarchy for the symbiotes, just to let you know, for Dark Dimension, is Symbiote Spider-Man, then Anti-Venom, and then it's Scream and Venom are tied. Basically, Scream wins because she's cheaper, but Venom is they're both equal. Like, they both do a great thing at what they're supposed to do. Scream just happens to be squishier, but she's cheaper. Venom is tankier and a little bit slower. So they're roughly the same. And then Carnage is the lowest impact. That doesn't mean you're going to regret having a high investment in Carnage. The thing is, you're never going to take advantage of Carnage's speed up mechanic because their health pools are so high that you're not going to be able to reasonably expect them to have 30% or less health all the time. They're failing upwards to 30 million. Yeah. Yeah. So like, they're not good. And again, the amount of money they make has nothing to do with how good the game is. How good is Fortnite? I mean, have you seen Fortnite? I mean, even for the follow-up argument, League of Legends is not a better game than Dota by any stretch of the imagination. Whether you enjoy it more, different conversation entirely. You know? Doc Ock is a good ad too. Doc Ock's great. But you can't use... Oh, for DD3 City? Oh, yeah, Doc Ock's great for DD3 City because you're going to bring him in. That's a great... You're right, Damon. Good call. How good is Candy Crush? Candy Crush is a great game. Candy Crush is a phenomenal game. Simple. What is Fortnite? Great question. Yeah. Doesn't... Like, the amount of money you make doesn't mean you made a good game. Dude, honestly, how good is Madden now? When's the last time Madden was a good game? Still makes a shit ton of money, you know what I mean? They're failing upwards for DD4 Scream and SSM, excuse me. So, can I click on these now that I've taken them? Yeah. So I'm, what is that? 7 shards away from unlocking Hela. And if my math is right, as long as I get top 26%, I usually end up here on these. So I'm pretty much guaranteed to unlock Hela. I want to push a little bit, so everyone's aware. I want to try to get a little bit higher. I don't know if I can get to 1 to 200, but this is the last blitz of any consequence to me, because next week is what? Garbage and Toad and Blob or something like that. Those are good. Those are valuable. I want the shards, but I don't really need to go crazy on it. Is this new character Kestrel being meta-changing? Not to my knowledge. To my knowledge, the new character is a shield character, but that's more of a guess than anything else. I could be right about that because I'm guessing. Thing and Blob, yeah, those are garbage blitzes. Like, I'll try to get free shards from it, but like, this is the last one that I care about, and when I hit level 60, I'm no longer in those. Hey, Weber. So if I can get to level 60, my goal is very secret. My goal is to get to level 60 after the Blob Blitz starts, but before it ends. Do you get it? Because if the Blitz starts, I'm in the early Blitz. So if I hit level 60, like 5 seconds after the Blob Blitz starts, I will be able to sim my Blitz, because that's what you do at level 60, but I'm still in the weaker version of Blitz. So is Shield likely to rework? Wherever Kestrel is going, those characters are also likely to have some degree of rework. That's why there's a lot of rework speculated for this new patch. Because there's more, in theory, there's more characters that are going to be relevant. Of the characters you are releasing this year, which ones are you most looking forward to? I'm very much looking forward to Morbius, because I really like what they're going to do with the rest of that team. I liked what they're doing with the Supernatural. It's unlocked until the... Oh, it's not unlocked during that Blitz? Oh, that's unfortunate. Damn. Okay. Then I don't care. Then I don't care. Ah, okay. Thank you. I didn't know that. I was just guessing. I haven't been level 60 for like 4 years. Who's the rest of the Morbius team? The Supernatural. Morbius, Blade, Elsa, Ghost Rider, and one more character. Because the Wizards are becoming their own team. They're not Wizards, but they're gonna get their own thing. Like, they're taking Mordo, Doctor Strange, and Scarlet Witch off, and they're making a couple of different... I don't know if it's one team or two teams out of them. They might be two. I think they're splitting Supernatural into a total of 3 different teams. There's going to be the new Supernatural, then there's going to be the Wizards, and then there's going to be whatever the Wanda setup thing is going to be. Oh, they're Wizards. They're no sorcerers. They're Wizards. Hats don't matter. They're Wizards. So just to remind you guys, the opposite of a wizard is a witch, and the opposite of a sorcerer is a sorceress. So if witches exist, then so do wizards. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's not true. It's strictly not true. They're lizards, Larry. So they're changing Supernatural into a Midnight Suns unofficially? Somewhat. Kind of. Remember Bruce embarrassed Tony in front of the Wizards? Yeah. Remember, guys, he's trying to steal a rock from a wizard. Just quoting Bucky. Yeah, but Bucky's 106 years old, and he has no idea what he's talking about half the time. It's always funny to remember that Steve was just slightly older than Bucky, like, in, like, awake time. You know what I mean? So, like, Bucky's like, hey, what's going on here? What's this stuff? And Steve's like, oh, it's rap music. He's like, what's this? I don't know. Like, it's crazy. Steve got to tell Bucky of stuff. That was, like, that's my favorite, like, headcanon, is at some point after the events of Winter Soldier, not Winter Soldier, of Civil War, and before the events of Endgame or Infinity War, somewhere between there, they had a conversation where Steve was like, I know more than you, and it was amazing. Strange isn't the Wizard Supreme. Correct. Strange is not the Wizard Supreme. But Scarlet Witch is not a sorcerer. Sorceress. There are sorceresses. If you didn't get Minerva, would you put Ghost Rider there over someone else you have? What, on this Blitz team? On the Blitz team I'm using? What do you mean? If I didn't get Minerva, Cannon, what are you specifically asking? Because I'm not really using Minerva for much right now, except for raids. Doom is the Wizard Supreme? Agatha's a witch. Her power comes from demonic entitlement, not from source code. She doesn't have, like, Agatha does not have, like, Darkhold is witchcraft. not wizardry. There's a reason the Darkhold was never in the Sorcerer Supreme's library. Not the same. Sorcery is different than wizardry. They're different kinds of magic. Loki is neither. No. Yeah, he is a witch. Loki's a wizard. Loki is a wizard because his power comes from witchcraft because his mom was Freya was a witch. So when wizards come into the game, are we talking like Brother Voodoo and Ancient One? Ancient One's nah, not gonna make it. But like whatever the Doctor Strange team is gonna be is going to be fundamentally different than like like we're not getting a WandaVision team, but Wanda and Vision are getting reworked to work better together than they did in the past. We don't know when. We don't know how long between Bucky and Steve, between Bucky going to Wakanda. We have no idea. That could have been minutes. It could have been months. We have no idea. Oh no, Juggernaut. Don't kill my Ghost Rider. Ult him. No! No! Yes! Ghost Rider! Ghost Rider healing himself! Go, Ghost Rider, you monster! Good job, bro. So happy. I'm so happy he pulled that one out. So happy. You have no idea. We're going to do a roster check, too, to make sure everyone's on the same page. But I like to space it out. I like to have the fun conversations. There's no reason to open these right now. Oh, here's something great. So I want to get this out here. I'll do probably a private video on this in the future. But just to talk out there. Hoarding, right? Hoarding isn't good. You don't hoard, right? The idea of hoarding, what's my TCP? 3 something. 310, 320, something like that. Hoarding is not good, right? You don't just not open stuff for no reason. I'm not hoarding anything right now. I'm not hoarding gold orbs. I have 2 million gold, and I don't need the gold in here. The gold that's in my gold orbs can only ever go higher, right? They can change the gold orbs to make them worth more gold. But what's in the gold orbs is in the gold orbs. You know what I mean? So opening it brings this number up, but it doesn't matter. And there are plenty of events that having an access to gold, like an orb opening event, a gold milestone event, where having a bank of gold or the ability to get gold more like when you need it are relevant. So this isn't hoarding. I'm saving them. I'm saving them for when I need them. Trust me, if I have gold that I need to spend, I'm not gonna look at my gold orbs and say, you know, I can't open them because the number I need to be really high. Like that's not why I'm doing this. I'm not opening gold orbs because I literally don't need the gold right now. It's not gonna make me a stronger character. It's not gonna make me a stronger player to spend the gold. I don't have the need to bring up that many characters. Let's look at Arena real quick. I was 49 when I last checked. So let's see what I'm gonna mess up here. Let's see if I can mess up this team. Yeah, Cap's gone. Cap's like a little bit better than Hulk. Let's try this team. Exactly. Yeah. Like you use the gold you need. So that's the idea. Like I'm generally holding top 50 in Arena. Right? With my current resources, and there's not much else I can do to these characters yet. I can't gear them up because they're at the highest their level can be. One trick is never ability block Silver Surfer. Why? Because he will throw it right back on one of your characters. The second you ability block Surfer, he basics one of yours, and then they're ability blocked, and it's like... Better choice for DD4. Invincible Woman or Shuri. 50-50. Which, honestly, I think probably Shuri because of the... No, it's 50-50. I think they both do very well. I would probably say IW is a hair better, but I wouldn't... Like, I wouldn't put money on it. Whichever one is the easiest for you to do, that's really the answer. After interviewing Bender, decided to go in order to prevent orb hoarding. They'll be changing current gold orbs to legacy gold orbs, and new orbs will be released in the future. Is that what they just said? The Surfer will ability block you either way, so it doesn't matter. Yes, but who he ability blocks, and then he ults. So it does matter. It matters a shit ton, actually. Because you can eat the ult on turn 1 and still be tempo positive. Whereas leaving behind, you're getting 2 turns of ability block, so it makes a huge difference. Yeah, and now he can't win. Gotta do it. Hopefully he kills him. Yep, great. Nothing really you could do here. We just gotta output the damage as much as we can. Zemo, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, once you have one character advantage over Surfer, that Surfer, you can't win. Surfer versus Surfer, crits, stuff happens. Surfer plus one other versus Surfer, you're winning. Even if the other Surfer's a little bit stronger, you'll still be fine. You will whittle down more health than he will gain. I don't see anything about gold in the future. It's only conversion discussion of blog posts regarding new costumes, bits, and crits. Yeah. In case of Arena, defense tank. I think I have to replace my Drax. Do I invest in Juggernaut, Red Guardian? Red Guardian. Red Guardian. Red Guardian. For an Arena tank, as you're working your way up, if you're not in, what's it called? Like endgame meta Arena, Red Guardian. Absolutely great. He'll take the hits early. He actually has pretty decent resistance too, so it's going to be harder to rip that taunt off him. In the early stages. Late game, it's easy. You just giggle. Surfer ability, yeah. I don't know anything about what's going on in the blog post anyway, regarding costumes and stuff. Like, they do what they do. Did I get the reward for... What was my Arena ranking? Oh, I don't get payout until 7 minutes from now. So, in general, I could have held an Arena fight for 5 minutes. I'm gonna do this fight. So this is what you should be doing, because if it costs you 50 cores or 25 cores to do an extra fight, the next highest fight tends to give you between 25 and 50 more cores. So if you're worried about holding a bracket, like, you start the fight, it doesn't matter if you spend the cores or not, because only 2 people can fight it. So I'm pretty okay with where I'm gonna go as long as I line it up right. So let's see. Let's start off with this. We'll ability block her. We'll ability block Hulk. Yeah. Yeah, this Thor is the only other damage dealer left on the fight. I don't see anything about gold orbs in the future. The only conversion discussion in the blog post regarding the new costumes and bit credits. This is what you guys should be doing. You don't have to buy the attack, but if you're trying to lock in a specific arena ranking, if you're being competitive for more resources, buying at least one attack in the last time, whether it's prepared or otherwise, will guarantee you a pool. And the most important thing you're about to see is right here. So any questions? You know what I'm doing, right? This isn't a slingshot. This is an anti-slingshot. Anyone who's trying to fight me and take my spot right now can't fight me. Yeah. This isn't a slingshot. I'm locking myself until payout. Especially because payout is in 3 minutes and I have 2 minutes left on the clock. No one will be able to fight me and take this spot from me within the range. So I'm locking myself into the payout I want. It matters a lot from like the old days of being in the top 10. Like if you're fighting for first place, this is how you have to do. There's no defense. As you progress, there's no defense that you could just put on defense and be like, we can't beat it. You know, sure, early on you can. It's hard to plan a slingshot. You don't really plan the slingshot, you counter the slingshot. What I'm doing right now, because I'm fighting the number 38, I'm trying to make sure that no matter what happens, I stay above number 50. Yeah. Conversation you forgot. That has happened before. Remember last year you tried to do the same thing and you ended up losing because you got distracted time right now? I do, but this is why I'm going to kill this with 30 seconds left. I'm not waiting for the last second. Like, no one can beat my team in that amount of time. Even if they're holding and sandbagging and trying the rank, now my old rank is still too high. So I should be... So this says, this announced me as 37 at payout time, which is in about a minute from now. I should get top 50 no matter what happens. And I really don't think it matters for most content, but top 50, top 20, top 10. Like, once you're here, it doesn't matter. You know, like, this is a range of about 149. You know, this is a range of 49 or 50, whatever. Like, this is a big range. It's hard to slingshot within that pool. Here, you want to make sure that you hold. So I just want to be top 50. So I spent 25 cores to do that extra fight to guarantee my spot, and I'm getting 50 cores. So I net 25 higher. Yeah, right? For level 7 villains campaign, is it working on Hydra? It's worth using Zemo because he can basically solo it depending on how strong your Zemo is. But if you have Zemo, the other Hydra characters that you probably have a decent number of stars on, like Crossbones, it's cheap enough. They're cheap enough that you don't have to put too much into them to get the value out of them, you know? You can get away with anything at that point. How are you going to afford the arena orbs? What do you mean? I'm not opening arena orbs. I'm like never opening arena orbs. I'm not opening arena orbs in my main account. Well, I'm not opening them here. They're terrible. Electro is good for the offense down. Oh yeah, Electro's real good. Alright, so payout should have happened. And I held my rank at 37. Cool. Yeah, there's no reason to ever open those. Those orbs are absolutely terrible. So, okay. So back to the hoarding thing, because I wanted to make sure I got the arena fight out. I'm not hoarding gold orbs, right? I just have them. I'm using them there. Basic orbs, there's no I'll open them now. Right, they're great. Maw is still a phenomenal character, so yes. Maw is still one of the most versatile. So, like, stop looking at characters as to what they are doing now, and look at how useful they are across the board, right? Like, Maw is one of the most useful characters in every single game mode. Raids, Maw, useful, right? Arena, useful. War and defense. War, useful. Dark Dimension, useful. You know, like, the more useful they are. What about the rest of the team, though? What about the rest of the team? They're still a great war team. No matter what happens, the Black Order will still be probably the best war offense team for a very long period of time. There are not many teams. So at the end of the day, the worst thing that happens to the Black Order is they go from being arena meta, war meta, and valuable in certain raids, to being a war meta team. And that's not bad. Bone opens 60 arena, 2 scream drops, 14 shots. There's no reason to open those. They're terrible. They're terrible value. Like, literally, they're the worst value in the game. The only worst value in this game is in the Ultra Store. You know, these are awful. Boop. Thank you. So now I'm working on Blob, and with extra purchases, I'm buying Heimdall, because these are the next 2 unlocks that I'm looking at. I'm ready for IW and what's her name? Ability orbs? They're pretty bad too. You're not wrong. They're not wrong. The thing is, cores you could buy. You know what I mean? You could spend money on cores. So like, if you need ability materials, you could just throw money at the problem. You can't throw money at the problem of arena orbs. So like, this is a very limited resource. You can get you can't get a ton of these every day. You can only get X amount a day. So opening an arena orb is awful. It's awful math. And for those who are watching this and being like, but how am I going to get Scream? Let me tell you, I have been playing this for 6 weeks, and there was a Scream Blitz that I didn't do particularly well at. And I don't get 21 shards for being in the early Blitz, and I'm 43 of 45. I can confirm to you, I did not get 43 shards from the Blitz. Maybe about 20 total. I probably got about maybe 20, 21 shards from the Blitz, which was phenomenal. But I've almost unlocked Scream through the gameplay. The extra 22 shards I got were from random stuff. Yeah. That's real bad. So let's keep looking at hoarding. Blitz store. I open Blitz orbs all the time because inside the Blitz orbs are a bunch of characters. When I want right now, I am still target farming specific characters. I'm still target farming Rhino, and of course I'm farming Toad. So this is what I care about. This is what I'm doing, and it shouldn't be an issue. You should. Would you still suggest target farming characters in the arena store? Yes, it's still more it's still financially better. Right? Like, it's like the math is not there. The arena orbs are quite literally the worst value in the game. Like, you're paying more for less value than anything I've ever seen. You can open one every once in a blue moon if you're feeling froggy, you know, take a jump, but these are the 2 characters I kind of work on. And even then, I do just kind of open these more often than not. I try to keep like 1,000 of these in the bank, so I can always make the next 2 purchases. But this is a little bit different because the EV for this is 15 character shards that I don't particularly have an issue with where they come from for higher value. Like, this is 350 for gold and character shards. So I spent, you know, what is that? 1,050? Yeah, 1,000. Is it? Yeah, 1,050 credits on 15 character shards. And sure, some of them are like who cares? Like, these guys are 400, so I got a little bit boned on those. But like, I got a little bit of gold, and I don't really need anything. This character is unnecessary, 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 unnecessary. Ant-Man's actually a little bit more necessary now. Yeah, 1,050, sorry. So Ant-Man, here's a good spot for me to buy it, so I'm going to, just so I have him unlocked. But a lot of these characters you're just going to ignore for the duration of the game. You'll get them up through Blitz Orbs. And Blitz Orbs are cheaper than the cheapest character you can buy. So that's huge. Any idea when they'll replace Domino in the Blitz Orb? Whenever they decide there's a character that's, like, worth replacing. Someone maybe like Anti-Venom, maybe like Longshot, you know. Maybe White Tiger, who's to say? There's no rush. They don't rush to do anything positive for us. They just do it when they do it, and then we're supposed to be grateful. Now, again, I open these orbs whenever I get them, right? So I'm not really saving currency if there's value to it. But I do want to be able to keep buying Rhino until he gets to 5-star, so I don't mind holding a little bit of a bank because I'm not getting these that often. You know, here, these, I'm not hoarding this. I only have 8. You could just choose where they go. I'm not hoarding these. I'm saving them for when I need them. So when I'm working on a character, like a Mystic character, or like, let's say, Hela, and I'm going to start needing more Mystic gear, I can be like, sweet, I can open these and get more Mystic gear. Would you take Shatterstar or Longshot with Minerva, Thanos, and Server for Cosmic? Not enough mutant mats for both? Cosmic what? I wouldn't. You wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't. The answer to your question, Big Pluto, is no. Yeah, the answer to your question is no. Sorry. Yeah. Shatterstar is required to make Longshot good. Longshot is the damage dealer part of the pair. So Shatterstar and Longshot, or neither. Sorry, that's just how it goes. And if you're asking which one's going to have the most value outside of that, the answer is also both. It's bad news, Bears, man. The true answer is Thanos shouldn't have been brought up to 15. It should have been Surfer. Surfer replaces Thanos, not Hela. That's a mistake a lot of people are going to be making over the next couple of months for reasons unknown to me. Yeah, Surfer doesn't replace Hela. Surfer replaces Thanos. Hela is Hela. Hela's the only one who does what Hela does, which is summon a Greg, which makes Minerva go faster, which gives Minerva more turn meter, which allows Minerva to heal people more frequently because of what's happening. So, you know. Yeah, so if you want to bring both Shatterstar and Longshot, I promise you'll have a great time, right? They'll be fine. But if you're not going to bring both, the answer, unfortunately, is neither. If I had to pick one, like shoot myself in the still worth the regular price. Not for like the 99% of players in the game, but for me with 50,000 arena credits in the bank on my main account, like what else am I gonna do with them? Open garbage orbs? Like, no, he's not worth it, but he will be. There's an event with him in it, so like as long as I can get as long as you can get a 3-star Red Guardian by the time this Skilletary event comes around, you'll be fine. Oh yeah, my Thanos is 15 too. You know what I mean? But that's not the question we're asking. We're asking, like, what do we do? Like, if the answer is who does Silver Surfer replace, it's Thanos. If you already have Thanos, then he doesn't replace Hela. Hela's still her own choice. If you have all other tunes maxed, why not? Yeah, that's fair. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's still terrible that they raised the price to that much. I think it's stupid, but what am I gonna do? Not buy it on principle and hurt myself? Like, no, I have to eat the shit they put in my doggy bowl because I'm a good little doggy. Anyway, these are being saved for when I need them. I'm not hoarding them. I'm not hoarding for the sake of having more. I'm saving them for when I need them the most. Now, here is another one that's interesting. Now, I'm opening these orbs quite literally as fast as I get them because blue gear is still relevant to me. It's not the hardest thing for me to get. It's actually the easiest thing for me to get in the game. Purple gear is becoming more and more difficult. Thanos was never a DD4 investment. Thanos was a Thanos investment that you just used in DD4 on principle. You know, like, I have Thanos at 15 because Thanos is Thanos, but it doesn't mean he's good in DD4. It's the same reason why Night Nurse. I have my Night Nurse at gear tier 15 has nothing to do with DD4. It has to do with the fact that she's amazing in Doom Raids. So these two orbs I'm opening, orange gear raid orbs, like, I can't use orange gear right now, so the effort of opening these is worthless to me. It doesn't even give me, like, an understanding of what I need to farm. So there's no reason to open these, so I just leave them here. You know, like, whatever. I'll open them when I need gear for orange gear. Even on my main account, I tend to keep these until I have, like, 50 to 100, and then open them in bulk so I can get a good chunk of resources. But yeah, in general, no, man. Like, hoarding is crazy. And these I open on cooldown whenever I get them. We aren't given... If we are given... Let me be clear. This is the worst value in the game. If they do something that gives us access to arena orbs, like, you know, sometimes there's the Kingpin orb. If there's something that gives us arena orbs, then it's okay. Have you ever seen Don Satori's infographic? Yes, I know Don Satori very well. These orbs, so why am I saving these credits? I'm not hoarding them, I'm saving them for orange gear War Orb 2s. I don't really need the blue gear, as we've already discussed, because it's easy for me to come by. Purple gear is relevant to me, but these orbs are, like, so all over the place with what you could get, and it's one, you know, guaranteed one, that it's not even close to worth it. These are useful, but I know about Orange Gear War 2s, so I'm saving these. Worst case scenario, I save a ton of these elite credits, right? Or these credits right here. I save a ton of them, and then they add Orange War 3 orb, and that's something that becomes relevant. You think Orange Elites are worth running 4-2 100 versus 4-3 70 to 80? No. No. Raid season points at 60% are better. Jubilee doesn't need to be gear 15 to do her job. Correct, she doesn't. Should you open War 1 or War 2? If you have the opportunity to open War 2 is better. War 2 has better ups and downs. Like, War Gear 1 and War Gear 2 orbs, the major difference is you're guaranteed to get gear tier 15 from War Gear 2. War Gear 1 orbs don't give you any gear tier 15 within the pool, but they give you 14 gear. When do War 2 become available? I believe level 70, but I don't know for a fact. 70, 75? I truly don't remember. I'm sorry. So as far as I'm concerned, and again, if I happen to want to open Orange Gear War Orbs, I'm not going to regret having a bank just to do it. Supplies, again, it looks like I'm hoarding these. I'm actually not. I'm legitimately not hoarding these. I'm just spending them. And I don't know if you know this, the best use of these resources has never been characters, will never be characters. I want Mr. Sinister. I very much do. Getting 10 gear pieces for 800 credits of purple, and then later on when you get to the gold, like, insane. Insane value. So I like to keep these for when I'm in a little bit of a pickle with gear, but specifically Ghost is the character I'm buying right now. Yeah, but they're not the same, James. Like, Minerva's tech. Origin gear is like days. You know what I mean? If you're like, I'm missing catalyst pieces, days to get those. Origin gear, maybe a week. It's the special items that fuck you. So you're talking about Mystic character in Thanos, skill character in Proxima. Hela and Surfer are both Mystics, right? So if you're gonna bring one, bring Hela, because we were able to do this without Surfer, so like you don't need Surfer again. It's gonna be hard, but it doesn't matter. And then the last character, right? Minerva's still tech. How many tech characters are you really bringing in? Ghost, Minerva, Doc Ock, over. There are no other tech characters worth investing in. You know, like they just aren't. Longshot Solo still does good in DD4. Yeah, but not better than any good character. He does adequately, probably. Yeah. Yeah. Brought up Doc Ock, Ghost, Ultron for tech. You brought up Ultron? Damn. Baller. Ultron's 90, man. Ultron, I'll bring Ultron up on his next pass. Surfer is like the world's best second run tune I've ever seen. Surfer and Zemo hold the record as like, these are the best characters for the second run. Because they will definitely just help you get through it. By the time I even got to Global, I was hoping Red Stars and Ultron. I mean, they're coming out. You're not going to get many, but they're coming out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I love the long shot worship. It's like my favorite thing in this game. The most mediocre character to be worshipped. Like, it's the same thing in the reverse when people were like, Ghost Rider is so good. I guarantee you the overlap of people who thought Ghost Rider was like a top 10 tune and the overlap of people who think Longshot is a top 10 tune is like 100%. It's like it's like average characters that are getting like way more credit than they deserve. By the way, when I get to Global, yeah, okay. Yeah, the issue, so remember, Dark Dimension 4 isn't a challenge. The challenge is getting the characters up. And the longer it takes to you to get the characters up, right? That's hopefully going to be an issue of time. That's it. How difficult for Red Stars and Ultron be? The first 3 will be easy. How difficult to get? How difficult are gold promotion credits? They're better than gold promotion credits. Who do you think is the best skill character for DD4? There's no good skill characters for DD4. Blue, if my answer to what I just said didn't answer your question already, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I don't think there's a single good skill character for DD4. I think you end up having to use skill characters, and as a result, it doesn't matter. Zemo is the best skill character to invest in overall, but he's really just passive damage and then immediate death. So, like, whatever. Like, it took me 3 days to clear all of Dark Dimension 4 city nodes, global nodes. 3 days, right? And I brought in Black Widow and Sabretooth, and they sucked. And it didn't matter, because it still just took me 3 days. And I've been sitting here waiting for Cosmic Waiting Room. As a matter of fact, the Cosmic Waiting Room is quite literally the last thing I have to do. Doc Ock, but, you know, tech gear. Night Nurse? Night Nurse is a great character, but for DD4, completely useless. Doesn't do anything. How far are you in campaign? I'm showing in Nexus 5.8. I've finished every possible node I can finish. So let's see. Heroes, we have finished everything. We're up to 6. We can't do anything. Same, James. Villains, I am quite literally done with. Nexus, I am done with. So yeah, Nexus is kind of a every time you go up to a Nexus lane, it's just an issue of like how fast can you do it, you know? So it's not much, but how far are you in DD4 in your same run? Same. No, like I've found 0 tech gear over the last since March. I have 17, I'm sorry. I have 14 gear tier 15 characters. Actually, I have 15. now. I never got enough tech gear, so my Minerva and my Doc Ock are the only 2 characters that aren't gear tier 15. Time to go back and 3-star them? No. There's no reason to 3-star anything. You 3-star something when you want to farm it. Because there's no... If I 3-star this right now, it does nothing for me. Later on, when I have to do this node, I promise you I'm going to be stronger than the content. So when I want to start farming Reed, I promise you I'm going to have enough characters to be able to farm Reed. Alright, Stonewall. I'll call you Stonewall. Yeah. Yep. I literally beat the first 6 nodes in a grand total of 3.5 days, because I started at night and then I immediately got into the next day, right? So it was 3.5 days for me to beat the first 6 nodes of Dark Dimension 4, and then I've just been sitting in the waiting room for the last month. Can't get enough gear. In the time it took me to do it, in the time I still haven't completed specifically Minerva, I was able to bring up all of my city characters, 2 legendary characters, and all of the rest of my cosmic characters. Same time. Waiting for... And I bought every battle pass, and I have done nothing but open Gold Orbs 2. So yeah, I just do not... And every time I'm in the store, I will spend... Like, I have no problem spending money. So yeah, I just literally don't get tech pieces. Specifically the pressurized gas tanks. Don't see them. They don't exist to me. Skill characters, I had enough to go back and bring up Zemo to 15. Well after I finished it. Yeah. The cosmic nodes are a little bit challenging. Like, I've done the nodes on other people's accounts to see, like, what they were using. So, like, I get it. One of the beautiful things about being, like, a prominent content creator in a game is that, like, all I have to do is call somebody and be like, do me a favor. Like, I'll call Dutch. You know, I'll call somebody else. I'll call, like, a whale. I'll call Rem and be like, Rem, do me a favor. Test this team out for Dark Dimension. Cool, how'd it work? No? Alright, bye. My knowledge is not mine. My knowledge is the absorption of all of the smartest people I know telling me what I need to know. Which is why I always have such... People confuse my confidence with arrogance. TCP, maybe like 11 or something. 11.5, something like that. Do you not know who I am, Sad Panda? That's adorable. I always love it when people don't know who I am. It's always adorable to me when people just find me. Makes me so happy. The answer to the common question of who is Tony Scungili is, who's your favorite content creator? Oh, ask them who got them started in content creation for this game. Yeah. You're 11.5 million, 11.5K, right? Yeah, it's very funny. I don't know. Are you the son of Kurt Russell? Yes. I'm Star-Lord. Watch some of your videos on YouTube, but haven't watched your streams. Yeah. 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 It's by design, for the record. I like to keep my community very tight. Well, shh. Don't talk about that, Blue Bomber. Don't talk about my insider info. Because then people will have to put up with me. What are the 5 characters you're currently working on? Yeah, now we're going to do a full roster check, right? So here's the full roster checkup. Obviously, you have last week's video to kind of go in. Let's just quick recruit on these guys to get them out of the way. Future ever count is about 11 million. It's 11 point something now. Because I brought up a couple of their characters. No, that's too much. 20 is where I go. Everyone goes to 20. And gear tier 4. That's the rule of the widespread account. Yes, Blob. Be fat. You jiggle. They spent time animating that. They really suck at fingers in this game. Look at Blob's, like, sausage fingers, And then look at Strife Sausage Fingers. They don't do fingers very well. It's a moderate criticism, but it's an accurate criticism. So, as you guys have figured out by now, this is what I do for every character upon unlock, unless they are actively useless characters. Wait, where's Shanksy? Yeah, unless they're actively garbage, useless characters. Every character gets brought to 20. Boop. That should be enough. So, again, I'm still tracking these characters. I have no intention of farming any of them. I just wanted to see, through playing the game, how quickly a player could reasonably unlock 3-star Nick Fury. I'm going up slightly at every point. Obviously, if I was farming these characters, I would probably be significantly further. But the problem is, Nick Fury doesn't matter. Unfortunate news. It's too much effort to farm both the Kree dogshit characters and invest all of the skill gear into the shield team to get any value on those characters that don't fundamentally do anything. So I just keep track of these characters to see like how long it takes from just playing the game, opening random orbs, whatever comes up before I unlock them or whatever. So yeah, this is just here for me to keep track of. It's nothing relevant. So far, I'm doing better than I think I would have had I unlocked Nick Fury early anyway. So here's Surfer. Now I could put 2 more pieces on Surfer right now and feel really good about myself. Yeah, of course. Surfer's an always carry. Like, yeah. So I could put these 2 more pieces on Surfer. It really doesn't make too much of a difference to me. Surfer's about a week away from being added to the Red Star store, for anyone wondering. Maybe a little bit more than a week, but at least a week, within a week or 2 away from being added to the Red Star store, so I'm not really worried about it. And yes, a 3 Red Star Surfer is worth investing in. A 3-star Surfer is worth investing in. He's that good at character, so don't worry about it. And stars aren't going to make too much of a difference in the early game. Red stars are what's going to be very relevant in the early game. So unless you have a 4 or 5 Red Star Surfer, you don't have to worry too much about how many yellow stars you get on him. As for this, I can't touch this until I'm level 60 anyway. So I'd rather save the gear for the inevitable Hela unlock, just to bring her up to speed with the rest of the characters. But Surfer is the primary damage dealer and my primary investment right now. I treat him as if I would treat Symbiote Spider-Man. Captain America, we are done with. We are off investment in Captain America now. You know, he did his job for a very long time in the Wave 1 Avengers. It has been a very useful character. We're done with him now. We will probably keep utilizing him to about level 56 to begin with. Level 60 anyway, because that's a Wave 1 stop point. But as far as bio gear, as far as energy farming, we're done. He's off. Over. Thor still has a significant amount of value, if for no other reason than... Excuse me. I'm gonna open a Raid Orb. That's not useful. I'm open another Raid Orb. We can do one more, because I'll still have enough to buy a character if they show up. I just like to be able to buy Zemo when he shows up. I feel like this is the exact thing I got last time. No, it wasn't. It was this. Okay. Since I'm not directly target farming anyone in particular from the raid store, I don't mind opening the raid orbs. I don't think I'm going to need Sabretooth early. I think I'll just accrue Sabretooth throughout time anyway, so that's not relevant. But Thor is always going to be a relevant character. Like, he's going to be a part of the Asgardian team, which clearly is awesome. And he's going to unlock Black Bolt for me. So I don't mind working a little bit more, keeping Thor a little bit up to snuff with the rest of the characters. It's reasonable to do so. The problem is every time you remove a Wave 1 Avenger or a Asgardian from Thor, he loses so much of his value. A lot of his value is his free damage. When he goes away, he goes away. There's not much else to do, really. But I am kind of keeping Thor up to snuff with what's going on. Zemo is now taking almost complete control of what I'm doing. He is quite literally the best skill character you're ever going to unlock. So targeting him early is incredibly relevant. He's gonna get all my skill gear. He's the right of first refusal on skill. So because I need to be level 60 to put these two on, again, it doesn't really make too much of a difference, but I will be using Zemo in pretty much every game mode that I can possibly use him in. All Zemo was farmed, all 100 shards from the raid store. It took me about until last week to unlock him, so I was target farming him the second I could. He is, no question, the most impactful raid store character you can unlock in the beginning of the game. You will use him forever. You will always have some value for him. He is the rock upon which I will build my villain and skill character church. And that's it. There's no downside to investment in him. Plus, he solos war fights. A 22k Zemo will solo a war fight, and the higher he goes, the higher the fights he can do. Especially if you're still fighting in low-level wars. So I'm still winning like 5 or 6 war fights a day because Zemo just takes out a shield minions or a very low investment team. Is the ISO strategy you're going with this account? Balls to wall main tunes or spreading it out? I haven't altered my ISO 8 strategy. The best characters get brought to 3, period. Teams get, and then you move down. You never bring a character to 4 or 5 unless you need them slightly stronger for arena. And even then, it's really just 4. The efficiency cost of a 5 ISO is so great that you are wasting your resources at that point. Like, it costs 81 to go from 4 to 5. That's literally 3 other characters to 3. And since the ISOs are percentage increases early on in the game, they are incredibly relevant. They're a percentage increase before you get value out of Stark Tech. So the characters you do want to invest in, it's going to matter, and it's going to make you stronger over the course of time. We've already did that discussion, the difference between base stat increases and percentage stat increases and how they work separately, but it's relevant. Minerva can be brought to 3, but that's quite literally it. There's no need to. If I need more investment in Minerva, then I have absolutely no problem bringing her to 4 if it comes up. But these small percentages do make a difference for what I'm going to use her for. And also, Minerva is a carry. Minerva is going to be one of my first Gear Tier 13 characters. Her and Ghost together, So, yes, she's 2-star, and no, that doesn't matter. All that does is mean I might have to get a little bit luckier with RNG than I spend. Hulk, done. We're done with Hulk. His value was predominantly with Wave 1 Avengers. We don't need to worry about that anymore. So all of the investment I got in Hulk is going to be great in the future when I need Wave 1 Avengers for something. So it's not wasted, but as of right now, he's not holding the value that he should have. Captain Marvel is overtaking a lot of my investment value right now. She's very good early, but she falls later. She has one role, and that's be on a war defense team. So as soon as and the booty, this is important, I forgot the booty. So I don't mind putting, again, her up to 3. I don't mind getting her up to level 60. I don't mind getting her to Gear Tier 10 plus. I'm probably not bringing her much past Gear Tier 10, but it's possible. She's just a great asset to have in the early game, and she will bleed into more. And again, very much like Zemo, she's capable of kind of soloing war fights. So in the early game, when you're in an alliance where you're facing off against people who also don't have a lot of stuff, my ability as a player to win 5 to 8 attacks against like shield minions, and start actually beating other similarly powered teams is so relevant that like, I'm getting so much more resources now than I could have otherwise. CM's just phenomenal at it. Ghost Rider is a great character. He's also the carry of the Supernatural team. So I had no problem putting extra Mystic gear in him, but he's done right now. He's at gear tier 10. I don't need more investment in him because I could do all of the Mystic stuff with the characters I have. So we're done here. The other issue we're running into is the other bio character, and that's actually a great time. I want to look a little bit more at this before I go in. Yo-Yo is part of the puzzle I'm trying to solve. I want to use the team I'm looking at right now. Yo-Yo, CM, Silver Surfer, Minerva, and Hela. That's going to be what I see going forward as my my arena team. That's the general pieces of the puzzle I'm looking for. Captain Marvel and Surfer being high impact damage dealers. Surfer obviously being a little bit better. Minerva being a sustain with a little bit of extra synergy from Captain Marvel. Yo-Yo being a generically one of the best protectors, if not the best protector in the game. And Zemo just being a crazy monkey man who murders a lot. So that's my plan for the arena before we start factoring in major legendaries. And even with some of the legendaries I would get, that defense doesn't necessarily plan to change too much. Whenever you place a situation where it's like kill Minerva or it doesn't matter, Minerva tends to eat a lot of early damage, which allows characters like Silver Surfer, Captain Marvel, and Yo-Yo to really get value. So that's what my goal going forward for Arena is. So now there's several things I have to worry about. The first is Captain Marvel has to start looking like these characters. She's gear tier 9. I need to bring her to 10. You know, that's the simplest solution to this problem. I am still kind of farming her with energy, just for the sake of farming her with energy. Yo-Yo, I can't really farm her. You know, like, I can't do it. So, I have to subsidize that with maybe a last red star. Yeah. Oh, the passive is... we're done. Once it gets here, it's over. So, Surfer plus Yo-Yo is the strategy I'm looking into. And that the full team right now is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Hela. I think Hela's a little bit better than Zemo. But it could... Minerva might be unnecessary for the fight. It might end up just being Hela and Zemo together. I don't know. We'll test around. We'll see which holds a little bit better. But Yo-Yo is going to need it, and that unfortunate. The cool thing about Yo-Yo is her power is kind of a lie. First tier 4 for Surfer, passive. For Surfer, I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. But it really depends. He uses basic more often than anything else, but whatever. Will be the DD2 team. The DD2 team will be Ghost, Minerva, Hela, Silver Surfer, and probably Zemo. But I really don't know. So it's right now going to be 2 Tech, 2 Mystic, and a skill. That's what we're looking at, and that's the plan in our head. Another reason why is all of those characters are also likely to be brought up past that point. So that's what the DD2 team is looking like in my head. That could change. Why'd you bring up CM? She dope. That was the answer. She dope. She dope AF. Iron Man sucks. We're done with him until... we're not touching Iron Man again until... first of all, probably never. But definitely not until I unlock Ironheart. So, like, Ironheart is the last likely unlock. And that's when I'll start worrying about power armor. But even then, probably not. Elsa is invested in just to help with Ghost Rider. Same with Mordo. I would like to work a little bit more on Mordo. I'll probably pick up more shards of Mordo as we go. I'm not farming him. This is just what happened. So we'll see how that goes, but nothing crazy here. Doctor Strange took enough Mystic gear to get to Blue gear, but we are stopping just before Purple because, again, there are so many good Mystic characters, just, like, generally good, that it's not worth it. Swarm will get a little bit... he'll get to, like, gear tier 8, probably. I suspect that all of the Sinister 6 characters I used to unlock Shuri will be brought to gear tier 8. But that's pretty much it. We're not using the Sinister 6 for anything. Anything that would require a villain, I have Zemo for. I might utilize some of the Sinister 6, but these guys are just... the purpose of these characters are to... unlock it. My daily energy farms are these 3 characters. You'll notice these things are not going well. These things are not going well. Like, I'm farming every day, and they just aren't doing anything. So, like, oh well. You know, like, what am I supposed to do? That said, this is taking 60, 120, about 180 energy to farm a day of the 600 to 800. Why is Yo-Yo's power level a lie? Oh, these increase Yo-Yo's power level, and in no way, shape, or form do any of these abilities increase how Yo-Yo serves her purpose in the game. This is the only thing that matters for Yo-Yo right here. At least what you're trying to do. She doesn't do damage no matter how strong she is, so the investment in these don't matter. There are a couple of investments. This increased the number of attacks that happen, which helps the fact that I have her set to Raider. Run the Gauntlet. This has a chance to reach energy in Inhumans. I have no intention of using Inhumans on Yo-Yo. And then her basic calls the assist of a human ally. Again, there are no Inhumans on my roster right now, at least any worth working on, so this isn't going to happen. Do you stop Wave 1 shard farming when they're 5? I have never farmed shards on the Wave 1 Avengers. Does that answer your question? Yes, I'm Draxing Yo-Yo, for anyone who doesn't know what that means. Yo-Yo's entire abilities come from right here. How does her focus interact with your opponents? So the only things that matter are ways to improve her focus. That's all that matters. I'm going to repeat everything I just said, Jeffrey. I have never farmed a Wave 1 Avenger. I got a bunch of extra shards from the Battle Pass, but like I've never farmed them. Technically Thor, right? But I consider him an Asgardian. Character farms suck, but they always suck. Just so that you know, farming. That's why stars on characters are the like worst thing to farm, because like after you get to 5-star in a character, 6-star and 7-star, the cost, the time it takes to get 200 and 300 shards for the value, the stat increase is so dramatically worse. The first 310 character shards, which is a 5-star, are the highest impact stars you're ever gonna see. The last two, oh, they're useless. The only time they become relevant is if you have a 5 or greater star. I'm only buying Zemo from the store. Thor, I'm just... If I get him in a raid orb, I don't care. Thor, because Thor has to be 5-star, but if I get Thor to 5-star today, I can't pat myself on the back because I still need Sif, Heimdall, Loki, and Hela to 5-star. So it's not like, oh, Thor's done, at least I can move on to the next thing. Like, it doesn't matter. It's either you can, all the characters are 5-star, or none of them are. So I don't really rush any one in particular, unless there's something else I'm targeting. So for Thor, his impact is less relevant to me than a character like Zemo. Your alliance getting Surfer shards? Oh, no, we are not getting Surfer shards, dude. Here's my Surfer. This is the Battle Pass. We are not getting Surfer shards. I'm not being carried, man. Like, trust me, I could be. You know what I mean? I could be like, hey, one of my other alliances, put me in. I'll carry. Like, it's fine. I'm not being carried. I'm specifically trying to avoid being carried. I'm trying to accomplish what anyone could accomplish. Like, sure, my alliance is doing what could be considered harder, but there's only 16 people in it. So it's just people doing whatever they want. What's up, Kyle? Yeah, like, I just joined an alliance. You know, there's 16 of 24 people in my alliance. The strongest guy, I think, is like 6 million. The weakest guy is like, whatever. But I don't really need more Surfer shards. I would like more Surfer shards. I really need that 3rd red star on him. Surfer's better. Surfer is like Yo-Yo. The stars are cool, but I'm really only working on this stuff right here. So her power is a lie because the only stat that matters on her is focus. This is the only stat that matters. So if you're not increasing her focus, it doesn't matter what you're doing to her. Her being 30k, 60k, 90k, irrelevant. I don't ever have to touch these abilities because none of these will make her tankier, stronger, faster. I agree, Jeff. I agree. Also, Yo-Yo booty. But yeah, like, all that matters on Yo-Yo is she has the focus to stick this ability. So this tier 2, right? And you could technically increase this, but until you have Inhumans and S.H.I.E.L.D. named characters on your team, which you really can't for the most part, she literally does nothing. So that extra focus increase is not doing much for her, so don't worry about it. Gear and ISOs now are her hope. And if you really are desperate to increase her focus, you can make the justification for Skirmisher. You can justify this, but that is a very large investment of resources to one character that you will eventually have to swap to either Raider or, yes, still Raider because it's relevant. And also, it's very likely that Yo-Yo become reasonably farmable soon, so not soon like this month, but soon like probably by the time Dark Dimension 3 rolls around for this account kind of thing. So yeah, that's her. What's my alliance name? On this alliance? I have no idea. That's a great question. Pig ol' biddies. Goddamn alliance. Yeah, because no matter how strong she is, Blackbolt still gonna MC mind control. Yeah. Are ability materials scarce on your side as well, or am I just rating on the wrong tier? Let me be very clear, guys. Bloom ability materials are very scarce for me. Like, that is very true. But I don't really put many blue ability materials in characters. Once you get out of the blue, like, I have purple ability materials. I'm just not using them. Thor doesn't need this right now, so he didn't get it. Cap needs nothing else for the rest of his time here. Why is Raider on Yo-Yo if she'll never do damage? Aaron, that's a great question. Chat, would someone like to answer Aaron as why Raider is on Yo-Yo? Chat's right here for anyone watching the replay. Ding. Yo-Yo hits multiple times. She hits multiple characters. The more likelihood for her to crit, the more likelihood she is to proc vulnerables. The more vulnerables on a character, the more damage those characters will take. 10% extra damage for a character with vulnerable, as well as increasing the damage output of characters who have Striker. For example, Zemo or or Captain Marvel or Silver Surfer. So Yo-Yo doesn't do damage. She's what we call a primer in a lot of other games. She sets up the pins, and then the pins are knocked down by the people who are doing damage. Yo-Yo's exclusive purpose in the game is to make your opponents do 50% incoming damage and set up vulnerables so that your characters can do more damage or whatever they need the vulnerables for. Hopefully that was useful to you. I thought the damage on vulnerables don't stack. I never said that. I never said stacks of vulnerable. I'm saying you would accrue more vulnerables because she hits more characters, which will increase the amount of damage by 10%. Vulnerable stacks just affect how many times a striker will proc or a skirmisher will, like that's all a stack of vulnerable does. It doesn't increase the damage output, but a character with vulnerable will take a flat 10% more damage. And that on its own is worth something, let alone the fact that you will get more value out of it. So her purpose as Raider has nothing to do with doing damage. Her job is to be a protector and to support the team. She does that very well with her special and her ultimate. As a matter of fact, leaning with her special will usually put multiple vulnerables on characters, which will mean they will take a lot of damage for longer. That's why Raider is almost exclusively the only correct choice for Yo-Yo as you get later into the game. There are plenty of other bad choices you could make for Yo-Yo, but I think it's pretty obvious. at that point, right? This is worthwhile to me because Hulk is still a fun character. But again, not getting gear. So yeah, I am still missing quite a bit of tier 4 value. Or tier 2 ability materials. Tier 3s I'm not like swimming in or anything. But let's face it. Like, you gotta save them. You can't just put them in everybody, you know? So just for, for war, this guy beats an entire team. This guy beats an entire team. This chick beats an entire team. 2 months in a row. It hasn't been 2 months. It's definitely been this month. 2 weeks, definitely. And then, like, I could use Thor plus Captain America to beat... I could use, like, the Wave 1 Avengers to beat a team. I can use the rest of my... these guys plus, like, maybe Yo-Yo to beat a team. Like, these 5 characters will beat a team. So I can get 5 to 7 war wins every war. Yep. So, yeah, that's the comp. Now, what's up, Jeremy? Oh, Pats. What's up, baby? So real quick. Bio. Here's the issue. Cap and Hulk are bio characters and carried me for a long time. We're done with them now. Good job, guys. You did your best. Now you're just going to sit around and do whatever you want to do. Captain Marvel, Yo-Yo. These are the 2 bio characters that are, like, high in priority for me. Ms. Marvel is, like, somewhere on the list, but not up there yet. These idiots are getting to gear tier 8, and that's it. That's whatever they need to unlock Shuri / IW, that's what they're getting to. I don't really care about anything else. But it's very unlikely these characters are going to see a purple circle around them. And again, bio. We are not touching Venom because we don't have any reasonable part of the symbiote team. Right? We'll get Scream soon, right? We'll eventually have Scream. We'll get, actually, you know what? For you guys, just to show you, I need, like, no Scream shards. I'll open this because I'm doing pretty well in Arena. I need very little Scream shards to finish Scream, right? Very little, to unlock her. And even if I do unlock her, it's incredibly unlikely that, it matters. So I need 2, right? I'm gonna open one of these orbs right now. No, I don't even want to. If I get Scream, yay for me. I've unlocked it. Yo-Yo is probably not going past 12, but I wouldn't cancel it. Depends on the fight, James. So let's see. This is quite literally a waste. The only reason I'm doing it is because I'll have 1,500 left back, which is still 3 purchases of the characters I'm looking for. So this is fine. Nope. I spent more for Crystal than I would have. This isn't the worst pickup. This was good. This is literally fucking nothing. So, efficiency-wise, this was garbage. And it wasn't Scream. I promise you, I'm going to have a Scream unlock through, like, a garbage orb or something like that. That's how she's gonna get unlocked. So, like, once you unlock her, don't worry about stars, you know? Have I finally opened another one of these orbs? Hold on, guys. Never again. Never again. Halfway there. Nice. There's nothing I can do for Symbiote Spider-Man. I'm not buying him, right? They'd have to have like a $10 pack for 100 shards or something like that. Because this is my spending. My limit is 60. I only have about $12 left to spend. You know what I'm saying? Good seed? Probably not. You can't really track your seeds through milestone orbs. But let's test it. Average. Average. Nothing particularly exciting. Also, as a newer player, you don't really get any value out of checking seeds, you know? Like, the lower you are, it really doesn't matter. Honestly, think about it right now. If I were to... if I were to pull a 7 red star of a character, I want to do a poll, right? Ask, which character, for me, would pulling a 7 red star matter? We'll just go back to the full roster right now. which character of the entire pool of characters in the game, if I were to luck sack a 7 red star, you know, like, which one would be not like bad? None of them would be bad except Kingpin. But, like, which ones would be amazing, you know? Like, there's arguments, you know. Zemo would probably be okay. CM is farmable. You can, but they probably won't take you in. They are specifically... They're not understaffed. They are choosing to not be a full alliance. So you can ask for an invite, they will turn you down. They let me in. Like, because I could do a lot of good work with my investment, but... None but Surfer would be cool. Surfer would be the worst 7 red star I could possibly pull. Even as a casual spender, it is going to be quite literally impossible for me to reach a 7 red star Surfer in a time that made it reasonable. Farmable characters, obviously, are higher on the list of things that would matter. Legendaries, to some extent, would be meaningful. But, like, if the character's unfarmable, the 7 red stars would be irrelevant. You know? If the character's, like, sure, he'd be fine. You know, any character that's farmable, a 7 red star would be fine. But we are miles, if not years away. Not years. We are so far away from me having a 7 red star. Hella? Yeah, hella, right? Like, we are so far away from a 7 red star being on my roster. Like, Hulk is gonna be my first 7 red star. So, like, ironically enough, at least the Hulk 7 red star, I would be able to utilize. So Magneto would be great then. Magneto would be fine. I red stars on that. Yeah, right? But that's the point. Like, if I pulled a 7 red star on Elektra, I wouldn't be like, guys, we gotta go in on Elektra. Like, I'm not wasting my resources. That's stupid. Don't do that. War Machine, don't care. Stature, no. You know, like, these characters aren't gonna get more investment. God help me, America Chavez. I'm not doing that. I'm not wasting resources because a character has a high number. Like, that's silly. I'm not wasting my time. I'm only gonna work on characters that have value. You know, like Scientist Supreme, if I pulled a 7 red, I wouldn't start farming her. She's quite literally useless. At any stage of the game. Do you know why? Because all of the stuff that I was going to use Scientist Supreme for, immediately I'm going to use Zemo. Right? We're just going to use Zemo. And then we could just use Hydra minions. And then win. AIM had their time. AIM's time is over. We are now under the rule of the true leader, and he will be fine. So let's go to... We finished Bio up real quick. Let's check out... what is it? Mystic is next? Mutant. Cool thing about mutants are... it really doesn't matter what I do. So Wolverine's going to be 5-star eventually. Toad is going to be 5-star, and Blob are going to be 5-star reasonably. I've actually been farming Mystique a little bit, just to, you know, get her up. She's actually a reasonable farm. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the 5. Oh, I'm sorry. These. And then it's Psylocke or Sabretooth. I don't know who the last character for Magneto is, but I do know that I have about maybe a month and a half to 2 months before Magneto comes back from the short cycle. So I'm not really worried about who I'm going to use to unlock Magneto, because I'll probably get a pretty decent chunk of the characters over time. And realistically, I'm not worried about farming Magneto until after I unlock Wolverine to 5, because I'm not going to, like, double down. Next month, if I do see that pack that I could buy, the Brotherhood pack, I might just buy it on principle, because, one, it accelerates me a huge jump on these 3 characters, right? 4 characters. Right? Like, huge jumps on these characters. And it is a great impact character. Then I'll get Magneto, and then I'll just have another war team. I'm not really farming these characters, because until I can access Negasonic Teenage Warhead, whom is down here in the Sadness Brigade, there's nothing really, there's no value in that. Someone in my Arena Shard has been maxing their investment in this full mutant team, And I feel really good every time I beat them with Wave 1 Avengers / the Surfer hybrids or whatever. Because it makes like, yeah, you bought that pack. That pack is a great pack, but it's not an early game investment pack. These guys aren't that good. Wait until you start getting to, you know, higher investments, maybe a couple of orange gear pieces on them, etc. They just don't hold up much in the early game. Plus, they're not like a raid team or anything. They have no sustain. I don't like the idea of people saying, like, you could just put healer ISOs on them and then they're a team. Like, yeah, that's a thing you get to do, not a thing you should choose to do. You know what I mean? That is an option you can make, not the best thing to do. That's like a, fuck, I have to figure something out. Let's duct tape it. Let's duct tape this pipe while we wait to replace it. That's what ISO healers are. So that's it for mutants. Then going to mystics. Mystic's going to be a bit of a fun trick for me because Surfer is always going to be taking investment all the time. Thor is probably going to be taking a decent amount of investment. 30k Thor is like the minimum you need. 3 times 5 is 150k. Yeah, 30k Thor is like the minimum you need to unlock Black Bolt. You don't need a 150k team, but Thor, Hela are the characters that need the most work on it. Ghost Rider, Elsa, and Mordo, this is a whole team of Mystic characters that I'm going to have to bring up over time anyway. And then, of course, we're getting Hela at the end of this Blitz. Eventually, we'll figure out White Tiger and Iron Fist and Juggernaut and Loki and Heimdall. So there's a lot of Mystic characters that are close on the roster. So my Mystic gear is going to be taxed for a very long time. But again, he takes all of it first. You know, like, as long as he's still doing his best, that's matter. And I don't care that I only have 3 stars. It'll be 3 stars, gear tier 15. Like, fight me, you know? Then we have skill. I think we've already discussed skill. Let me show you the skill roster. It is Baron Zemo, and then nobody else. Killmonger. Baron Zemo, Killmonger. Someday Corvus and Proxima, but that day ain't today. Someday Night Nurse, but again, that day ain't today. Maybe Yelena, but probably not. Sif. What am I gonna do? These idiots? Nope. Zemo, Killmonger, these 2 characters are the highest priority. Killmonger because you can use him for like 18 different events. He just goes across the board as one of the best optional like characters. And then some of the better skill characters like Taskmaster, I'm not going to have access to for a long time. I could buy Red Guardian, but he doesn't matter. And then, yeah, sorry. So, as far as skill characters are concerned, it's of great value to me to only be working on these 2 idiots. Right? Oh, blue gear. Let's put some blue skill gear in Killmonger now. You've earned it, buddy. You've earned it. I'm so proud of you. Again, mercenary. We've seen my video, you know, mercenary, Wakandan, skill, military, villain, global. Like, all of his tags are relevant. This guy can be used everywhere. You're not really wasting your resources, especially not your gear resources anyway. Upgrading him because they're always going to be up. Same thing, I'm not target farming him, but like, you know, I'm not mad when I see them pop up in the raid store or whatever orb he happens to be in. And then, of course, we have tech. Tech is not like skill, but Minerva, phenomenal investment. These 2 idiots never go past blue. Garbage. Again, later farm, not really worried until I can farm Yellow Jacket, and Yellow Jacket's an endgame farm. Garbage. Fine. Great, but unfarmable. Okay. Garbage. Not useful anymore. Garbage. Whatever. Who cares? Shut up. You know. Great. Also, not accessing them. Ghost. So, as for tech characters are concerned, Ghost and Minerva are the only 2 tech characters anywhere near my list. So if I were to do a favorites, like after all the Kree minions are unlocked, right? After they're all 2-star, I'll take the hearts off of them. I'm just holding on to this for tracking purposes, so I remember that I need them over time. But like Minerva and Ghost are the only 2 characters taking tech gear literally the entire time now. All my blue tech gear immediately goes into ghosts, so that's another character I don't have to worry about. You'll see that, like, maybe I'll put some in these guys, not a big deal. And then, of course, we have Shuri. Shuri is not going to be impactful to me until I start doing, like... Actually, I don't think I'm gonna need Shuri until U7 at all. And I'm a ways away from U7. U6 is fine. I'm not doing too well. Like, we'll try a U7. Some people will be able to do 2 or 3 star. I'll stop farming them. I'll stop tracking them when they're all 2 star. Because I don't care at that point, you know? Because they either, I believe all of them unlock at 45 or less. So when they're all, like, at least a 2 star, I'm like, cool. Whatever happens, happens. Because I'm never going to start farming them, you know? I might... I would... Here's another great thing, because we'll do, like, a quick little offer checkup, too. Ooh, stuff. Give me stuff. Give me stuff. Give me stuff. I want stuff. Yay, World Warrior. I love how I can claim these every day, but I can't do the event. I am player level 50. I'm 100% player level 50. What's up, Father John? How you been? How you been, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, of course. I can't farm Falcon. He's literally unfarmable. For me, anyway. Where is he? Yeah, I keep getting these energy for this event that I can't do because I don't have Falcon. So... Again, fine, right? It doesn't make a difference to me. But like, maybe if there was like one node I could farm that had like something in it. Maybe like, you know how campaigns always will give you the first node for free? Maybe if I could just do a little bit and be like, ah, whatever. Maybe I can get some stuff out of it. I don't know. Just makes me sad that there's an entire event tie-in. Like, imagine I started playing this game because Falcon and the Winter Soldier came out, and I'm like, ooh, exciting. And then there's like, ooh, a Falcon and Winter Soldier tie-in event. Wow, let's look at it. Oh, you can't play it. We definitely do not max this out. So Bio is at 5%. Mystics at 5%. I want to start working on skill, but skill would only be damage anyway. We are not touching mutant forever. We are nowhere near mutant being relevant. So I've been using Tech's health because obviously Ghost and what's it called? Minerva are the 2 tech characters that are of any consequence, so I'd rather have them have a decent chunk of health, so I'll get that to 5. Health and damage is going to go across the board on all of these. Mutants not being touched for a long time, so it'll be like health and damage max, health and damage max, health and damage. No order particularly. Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if I had to guess. But that's basically what is going on. Gotta get lucky at a Mega Orb pull. I mean, I don't know when the last time I opened a Mega Orb was. Was it a Tuesday? You know? Wait, can I do the next... No, I can't. Can I do... Nope, can't do that. So what event am I missing? So this event is 3 days from now. I think I could get through the first star, but like I can't get Magneto in time, you know? I have to buy the offer if it was available, and I don't even think it is. All right, that's done. How long does it take to max Stark Tech? Depends on your alliance. Usually it takes about 6 months from the second you get in to max your Stark Tech. But again, you could be spending more. You could be spending cores to get more experience. You know, if you waste your resources on like red star orbs and stuff like that, could take a while. There's a lot of things. Also, it depends on if you're an alliance that has a high level. The max Stark Tech takes an alliance to get to level 80, and it could take months to get the alliance to level 80, let alone anything else. So I'm actually a little bit further behind because my alliance isn't full, but it doesn't matter because I can't gain as many resources as it would take. Like, I'd be capped either way, you know? So the question is, do I want to be capped at 4% or slow getting the resources and go to 5? It really doesn't. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of another, you know what I'm saying? Does Stark Tech go with you? Stark Tech is yours, not your alliance's. Stark Tech is one of the things we were talking about the other day as a multiplier. There are 3 multipliers in this game. There are 3 base stats in this game. The 3 things that are multipliers are red stars, ISO 8s, and red stars, ISO 8s, and Stark Tech. So take the percentage increase of your red stars, add it to the percentage increase of your ISO 8s, which is, you know, 10%, unless it's health, then it can go up to like 30. But like 10% on those, and then take your Stark Tech, which is 25. So 25 plus 10 plus whatever your red star percentage is. You could take that number. That's how much stronger your character is than their base stats, roughly. And then your base stats are gear, star level, character level. So those are the things that erase the base stats of the character, more or less. So there are things that you can improve on your own, and then there are things that are kind of RNG based on both sides. So maxing your Stark Tech is just another way of maxing your percentage. So when you say, like, what's 1%, you know, like, is that really worth it? The answer is yes, because it's adding to the total. Sometimes percentages are great. Sometimes base stats are great. Either case, you want as most of both, so it's not as easy as just every character should be maxed out at all times. Like, that's not how you're supposed to play this game. That's how some people choose to play the game, but that's not going to help that's not going to do any favors to anyone not spending a shit ton of money. That's it, right? Yeah, I can't do RTA yet or Dark Dimension. We're 7 levels away from this stuff, but I wouldn't be able to do Dark Dimension anyway. We don't do Dark Dimension 1 for anyone who's unaware. We skip Dark Dimension 1. The time it takes for you to get 6-star characters, let alone reasonable 6-star characters, like characters worth investing in general, is so great that you just do Dark Dimension 2 because you don't need 6-star characters to do it. You complete Dark Dimension 2 with good characters that are worth investing in. Then when you unlock Ultron, you use Ultron to be kind of the carry of your Dark Dimension 1 runs. Providing you know that you should be investing in Ultron and you're not just bringing like a 20k Ultron into a fight. But at the same time, if you do happen to have a 6-star surfer, you don't have to worry about anything. You just have a 6-star surfer. You can solo every content in the game. I did it earlier on my main account because Surfer's amazing and insane. What else is there? So we're good here. Yeah, we're not going to really worry too much about what's going on over here. What's my defense? So yeah, I'm still relying a little bit more on Thor than I'd like to be for this setup. But again, these guys need to have 20 next to their name for me to consider replacing some of these investments. So I have some stuff that I do have to work on over the next week. We've already talked about it a little bit, but just to kind of like iron out, I see where I want to be. I want Surfer, Minerva, Yo-Yo, Captain Marvel, and then Hela or Zemo, whichever one, to be my arena team. So in order to do that, I'm going to need to make sure that Captain Marvel and Yo-Yo, both of these women, are at least gear tier 10, you know, just to keep them at pace with characters like Surfer. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where the predominant amount of my gear is going to go. I might temporarily use Zemo while I wait to build up Hela. I might end up swapping Captain Marvel for Zemo. Or, you know, like, I don't know where that's going to go. I don't know. I kind of want the little bit of a boost that Surfer gets from having a, you know, a one hero cosmic ally. And it's more likely as the time goes on that people will be adopting villain cosmic enemies because Minerva's a villain cosmic enemy. Thanos is a villain cosmic enemy. Maw's a villain cosmic enemy. There's a ton of villain cosmic enemies that people tend to utilize. Let me just show you. So in the new Surfer meta, just to throw it out there for everybody, if you live in a world with a Surfer meta, these are characters that lose a ton of value. Hela at 2 is okay. One of the best characters in the game right here, buddy. Like, literally one of the best characters in the game. Actually, Loki does a pretty good job of countering Surfer, but only weird. Because he does a flat percentage decrease. Yeah. So, like, as people end up with, like, Minervas and Helas and Thanoses and Corvuses and Proximas, Surfer's just going to get more and more relevant against what they're trying to do. So. Conversely, that's why I was saying I'm thinking Hela might be Baron Zemo. Who's to say? You know, like, but if I already have Minerva, then it doesn't matter. So we'll figure it out over time. There's really not anyone else that stands out. Like, sure, you can use Ghost Rider, but, like, you shouldn't because he's not good. He's, like, okay at best. Like, the answer, the Ghost Rider is better when you're playing against people who don't know what they're doing. Yeah, you're not going to regret anything you put into Hela. Again, the reason I'm not spending these two on him, one is because I don't like half completing a character. Like, I put in these pieces because they're called stat sticks. This is the most health. This is the most damage. This is the second most health, or, you know, whatever. This is nothing. And this is nothing, comparatively. So I'd rather save this gear to bring Hela up to another high tier. But, again, a whole gear tier is relevant. So he's going to be 11 before anything else. I'd like to see Hela at 9. That's just part of the conversation we're having, though. Speaking of. All right, so that's it. Let's do a quick little offer review. Sorry, new characters aren't for new players. Like, I don't care how good anyone says Polaris is. If you've been playing this game for 3 to 6 months or less, you have no business buying her. If you buy her, you're just like, I like to spend money, and that's acceptable, but she's not going to really do anything for you. And that said, I love her on my main account, but these X Factor is not the team to, like, go in on. Imagine, if you will, I bought this. Imagine I made this purchase. Like, why can I make this purchase if I can't do the event? Like, what? So dumb. None of these offers are jumping out. Yeah, okay. So right now we have reached the point in the game where they're giving me, like, mediocre trick you offers. Not here. Not here. Not here. So none of these are hold any value. Gold offers are a trap. All Ion offers are for whales and whales only, so we don't look at those. The training offer is a little overpriced, but not the worst. The $2.99 legacy offer, if this was not 5, this is 5 orbs, just so you know. Ghost Rider is fine. This is the offer you should start expecting to see me buy every month from this day forward. At least once a month. Because the 3,000 energy, just so you know, 3,000 energy is worth roughly 500,000 gold. Plus whatever progress on characters slash farms. And the best time to buy this is during a double drop event, because then you don't have to spend the cores on the energy, you only have to spend the cores on the refresh. So you're actually getting almost double the value of your core refreshes from this point. This is a whatever offer. There's nothing crazy here. I don't support buying gold orbs, so it is what it is. Again, not really in the war currency bundle. This is $24.99 for 150 tier 3 ability materials. Surfer's passive. After Hella's ultimate is tier 4, you really don't need tier 4s and anything else. Her basic's okay too, but her ultimate and then like the passive are good, but that's it. This is the most waste of money offer I've ever seen in my life. If you have 0 tier 3 ability materials, 0, this is still not worth half of this offer. So, garbage. 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 No. Even, I do need these, but I'm still not giving you 10 bucks for them. Just to let you guys know, this is like $3 worth of tier 2 ability materials. Don't think of it from a how long it takes for you to get them perspective, because that's how the game is designed, to screw you over, so this looks like a good deal. That's how it's designed. Look at it from a perspective of like, how impactful will it be immediately to you? And the answer is, this isn't going to be $10 impactful to you. It's going to be less than $5 impactful to you, so we don't do it. We don't buy red stars. We don't buy ISOs. We don't buy premium orbs. This is actually slightly better value because cores have so little value. Cheers, info. That you might as well look at it. And this one also is actually a little bit better value because cores have so little value. I wish I had things to spend cores on. I mean, I guess I could refresh my energy in a campaign I don't care about. Under normal circumstances, I would. You really shouldn't be spending cores to refresh energy for this stuff until you can do the hard one, or at least most of the hard difficulties. Like, the economy is just very bad on it. But, like, for the sake of the argument, I have cores, I'm willing— Oh, eat dicks. So mad. You know, these orbs are really good. The campaign orbs are awesome. They do help a lot. But ultimately, I'm never going to unlock multiple man through these orbs. I swear, I thought I already had 43 of him. So it hurts my feelings that that was 43. I like Shatterstar. I think Shatterstar's a great character. There's really good news, guys. There's really good news here. It's right here. It's the fact that no matter what happens, under any circumstances, I'm getting, even if I suck and get down here, which I won't, on my worst day, I'm still getting a Mega Orb. And you know what's going to be in that Mega Orb? Namor. Because God hates me. I am slightly trying for, like, somewhere up here. I am going to, you know, I'm doing blitz rotations. Or at least trying to. And I'm trying to keep my points up. I'm going to try to get to about 700,000. How do you get 8? How do I get 8 what? How did I get 8 what? Would 8 what? How'd you get 8 Mega Orbs? I didn't get 8 Mega Orbs. I've only opened like 4 Mega Orbs or something like that. Oh, you mean how did I get the number 8 at the end? It's because this game isn't designed like intelligent people would design it. It's designed so that you don't ever need a flat number of things to get it. Let me use an example. So here, look at a Mega Orb, right? If you look at a Mega Orb, you would think that Mega Orb shards should be given in certain intervals. 50, 100, 250, 500, 1,000, 1,500. You know, the things that combine in some way to make a number. They don't always do that. Sometimes they give away rewards that give partial shards. So you might, and that's during events. So during an event, they might give you 200, you know, random pieces. If you do something, you might, instead of getting, you know, 50 even, it might give you 45. 45, and you see it all the time. You see it in places like this. Nope, that's not it. You see it in places like this. Where is it? Gold Rush. This is 220. That's not a real number, right? This isn't a real number. This doesn't mean anything. This is 200 makes sense. This means that every you do it 3 times a day, it's 600. So it would take you, or 3 times it comes up. So 200 divided by 2, it's 10. You have to do this 10 times to get a full gold ore. 220 is nothing. These are nothing numbers. This means that if you do this 10 times, you get nothing. This means if you do it 10 times, you get a small amount. So these numbers should be going up by meaningful amounts. 200. This should be 200. This should be 250. This should be 300. This should be 350. This should be 400. This should be 450. Like, bring it up by 50 so the number of times go up. They constantly do that. So they gave away an amount of resources. So you said they gave 3,333 away of Mega Orb credits, which means that I probably had an even number of 5 towards the Mega Orb, and that 3 gave it an 8. And if you want to know how do you get 5, it's because they don't actually do any of the math when it comes to getting shards. They just throw it out. You just get whatever you get, and you should be grateful for it. But if you look at this event, they do events where you can get 25 Mega Orb credits. You get 16 Mega Orb credits. Yeah, none of it makes sense. It's all silly. Like, if you ask me, is it better to get 3,333 or just an even 3,000? The answer is, make it 3,500. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for me to ever have a core that ends in 1, because there's no purchase in this game where the cores cost 1. Everything costs either ends in a 0, ends in a 5. So why am I getting 1 cores? Who does this help? How do I get, like, it's silly, is what it is. And for a long time, because they didn't have campaigns, we actually got 1 loose core. So you could only ever see the number 1 or the number 6 based on how many cores you would get either in 0s or 5s. So the challenge we used to have in the early stages of the game, when level 70 was the cap, or 75, I don't remember which one, 70 probably, was how do we get that last core? And we named it Stan. So the last core that you had was Stan. So if you could spend all of your cores and only end up with 1 left, that was the standalone core. Not the standalone, the standalone core. That's it. I think that's everything, right? So we know what I'm looking for next week. I'm trying to make the changes I need to get my new arena team. My goal, now as we track this real quick, last thing I do want to say, 82,000 divided by 76,820. Nope. Let's try that again. I said divided, and then I multiplied. I'm doing everything wrong today, guys. So I need 5,000 energy. I need 5,000 experience, and what do we determine we get a day? It's about 1,200. So about 4.5 days for me to hit 59. We'll double it just conservatively. So by next week, I won't actually be level 60, assuming all things. Best hero global team to get by in the campaign. Hero global? Where's global? Why is she global? I really can't tell what your roster looks like. The answer to the best hero global team would be the Astonishing X-Men featuring Phoenix. That is quite literally the best option. Whatever the fight is, you will beat it. I promise. You'll be great. and mainly because Beast and Phoenix works really well together. Now, you don't have Phoenix, you're probably looking at a little bit more of a mishmash team. So I'd have Shuri on this team no matter what. X-23 has a lot of actual value. If you do have Nick Fury, he's not a bad character for it. You could probably get away with Black Widow, Hawkeye, or some combination of the Wave 1 Avengers, Cap, Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Iron Man. These are options you can use, but, you know, you want to know the best, I'm going to give you the best. You want to know good enough. There's plenty of options to do a good enough job. If I had to do it, with my setup the way it is right now, if it's something that required Hero Global, I would probably lean in a little bit to Wave 1 Avengers just because they have the most investment right now, and none of these other guys are really worth the investment. But again, if something came up that required Hero Global, I'd still rather not waste gear on mediocrity. I'd rather put together some combination of Yo-Yo plus non-protector characters. 1, 2, 3... Ooh, that one's rough. 4... And then, you know, 5. Just thinking of good characters I'd probably throw together in order to accomplish that task. But yeah, best team is all of the Hero Global Astonishing X-Men featuring Phoenix. Anything else there is just utilize the teams that have the decent synergy. You could use S.H.I.E.L.D., but not many people are going to work on S.H.I.E.L.D. because why bother? They're not good or relevant or useful yet. They might be relevant next week. Anyway, that's it, guys. Also, Wave 1 is required for Doom campaign. Ooh, required is a really fancy way of saying optional. I can tell you they're not required because I know I didn't use Wave 1 Avengers for Doom campaign. But they're okay. They're good at it. They are really good at it, but they're not required by any stretch of the imagination. What's up, Alex? Yeah. Yeah, the Fantastic Four... Because that node is Fantastic Four plus S.H.I.E.L.D. Yep. S.H.I.E.L.D. level needed for Doom? It's the same node, guys. You guys know you're talking about it, right? S.H.I.E.L.D. Wave 1? Really? Interesting, because I did it with Fantastic Four. So, you know, like I did it with Fantastic Four plus S.H.I.E.L.D. Medic. And even then, S.H.I.E.L.D. Medic was, like, questionable value. She was the healer, basically. I probably could have done it with other characters, too. You know what I mean? Like, you can use Wave 1. One of the cool things about options are, hey, guys, what's the best option for Villains 1? What is the power level in my question of Fantastic Four? At the time, it was, like... IW was, like, 80-something K. And then everybody else was, like, 35K. And then S.H.I.E.L.D. Medic was, like, 60K. So S.H.I.E.L.D. Medic did the most of the work on that. Well, the healing, anyway. Yeah, but again, I might end up using Wave 1 Avengers. You know what I mean? I might end up using the Wave 1 Avengers. So, we'll see what happens. The biggest thing to take away is you use what you can. If you have the opportunity in any point of this game to work towards having the better option, just do that. There's no reason to rush anything, you know? S.H.I.E.L.D. Medic was the carry, dude. No joke. Yeah, like, if you don't have Silver Surfer, clearly the best option is get Silver Surfer. If that's not an option for you, well, then we have to remove the conversation of Surfer away from it, and you're no longer talking about the best, you know? Yeah, Rage has some really good content for that, too. Same thing. Villains 1. Do you work on the AIM team? How can you talk about a team if you only have them at Gear Tier 12? Right? Yeah, great. I actually asked the exact opposite question. If you've never experienced what the team can do before Orange Gear, you probably shouldn't have a conversation about what the team can do. You know, only because, like, something like 85% of the game is not played with Orange Gear, but, you know, that's just, you know, normal speak. But again, if you're talking about the villains 7-1 through 7-3, is aim the best answer, or is it just Zemo and then who gives a shit because Zemo's doing the work? Is it some kind of hybrid? For my money, the more investment you put in Zemo, the less you have to put into other characters. So that's great on its own. Yeah, finish that thought about 7-1. I just did. Yeah. Which is better? Is it the full aim team with Graviton, which is like multiple characters to farm? Or is it Zemo and then like whatever you have? To me, it's Zemo. Whether you get value out of the aim team, that's great. That's awesome. Zemo's still better. You know? Hey, look, someone just gear tier 13 Baron Zemo. That person is heal guys, and that person is a sorcerer. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. We went a little bit longer than we usually do for these. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And again, if you do have any questions you want me to address during this time, let me know and I'll bring it up. Again, there's not much that I can show during this stream, so if you want to see more, you probably should catch my Twitch streams. All that shit is linked in the bottom below. Was the rest need to be? They don't... No, I'm sorry. You sounded confused. They don't. You don't need other characters. You could just put Zemo in, and he will solo the node. If he's high enough. If he's not high enough, well, you could just put in anyone else. They'll take the hits. Zemo will solo the node, even though the other guys are taking the hits. And then you can come back 3 months from now when you need to farm the stuff on those nodes, because you don't need to farm them on day one, because all you're doing is rushing to the Hela farm. Keep making content. What? That's literally what I do for a living. I will do some more YouTube videos. I know you guys want some more. I've honestly just been bored of YouTube. I'm bored of it. It bores me. So I'll keep making more. But I'm sure there's more information coming, specifically in the next patch, about what's going on. I just don't like to do the stuff I do. I like my stream. I'm a streamer, right? I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a streamer. So you want to get the real experience, you're going to feel it in the stream, twitch.tv/TonyScungili. Other than that, I want you guys to have a good night. I want you guys to have a great day. I want you to have a safe weekend if you can. And that's everything I can say. Peace, everybody.